You are now listening to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
My name is DJ Vince Adams. I absolutely appreciate what the Chicago Clubhouse crew is doing for the city of Chicago.
Hey, young world, what's good? It's your boy Bernard Varian, a.k.a. B Twice.
What up? This is Rasheed Davis, former Chicago Bear wide receiver.
Hey, my name is Lemuel Stinson, a.k.a. Lemonhead, formerly of the Chicago Bears.
What's up? My name is C.J. Watson, former Bulls guard and bench farm creator.
This is two-time six-man all-star baller Ricky Deuces Pierce.
What's up, people? This is Chicago radio legend Rick Party, the voice you hear everywhere.
My name is Pee-wee from the movie House Party.
This is Megan Martinez from the Good and Funny podcast.
Hey, this is Bubba Ball from the Shits podcast.
Hey, this is Nika from One Shot Wellness, repping from the ATL, dropping some drips on that Chi-Town Clubhouse podcast.
This is Sherry, and you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
You're now rocking with Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
Where they think they know everything.
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 But they don't know shit.
But they don't know shit.
But they don't know shit. But they really don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But honestly, they don't know shit.
Hey, I smell something. I smell podcast. The Chicago Clubhouse Podcast Show.
They really don't know shit.
You already know what time it is.
You see this Eddie Jackson jersey right here? Take this.
This dude literally just took my soul.
So I didn't like playing with Brett Favre at all.
You could have waited until the draft if you wanted to look at another quarterback. You didn't have to sign Andy Dalton, who is really nothing but a backup.
Evander Holyfield is 58 years old. What you want to fight a 58-year-old man?
But man, he wants to keep fighting.
Because he want to fight him. Okay, it's an exhibition.
But yeah, it's an exhibition because
this ain't Drago and Apollo Creed, man. Ain't nobody about to.
Man, Martin and Tommy Hearns was an exhibition. You saw what happened to Martin.
This could hurt.
Thanks, Hayden. Nothing but the best.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Brett tough for real, man.
Yeah, man. He like tougher than some grown folks I know, man.
That as a coach, your job is to give your players the best opportunity to have success.
Michael Jordan, when he came back at LeBron James' age, he was a straight up nothing.
That is blasphemy on his computer right now.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. Without Dennis Rodman, I couldn't see them winning like they did those second three championships. I can't see it.
I agree.
And now I'm the voice of SportsCenter on ESPN. Now on SportsCenter. Tonight, LeBron James. And whatever.
Do you guys really coach how exactly to tackle correctly? Because I see it all over the league now. People cannot tackle like they did whenever you guys played. But do you guys practice tackling at all?
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we really don't know shit. But what we do know is hot than a motherfucker outside. The weather it's like a heat wave. For the next few days, it's going to be hot as hell. Shit, I saw the devil outside walking down the street with a short set. It's hot than a motherfucker outside. So it's cold as hell in here because the air conditioning is on like North Pole. So it's cold as a motherfucker in here, man. But yeah, so it's a lot of shit happening. We got a lot of shit to talk about. The Bears rookie mini camp was this past weekend. And man, some of these guys, man, they look good, but they got cut. But we will get to that though. Also, they have a scheduled reveal party coming up on Thursday. So we'll get to know what days they're going to play Dallas so we can make our plane tickets to get our asses down there. In Atlanta, they got a couple games in New York. They played the Giants and the Jets. So it's going to be fun, man. We're going to be spending a lot of money. Shit. Because, those planes got to take fuel. And fuel is ridiculous right now. It's almost $6 a fucking gallon, man. So we putting that in our car, and airplanes take Jet A. So that shit might be a little bit more expensive. Just imagine. So these plane tickets are going to be ridiculously high, man. So shit, we got to take out damn near a small business loan just to fly. Shit. Yeah, man. But let me bring in my all-star team. The team is in the building. So first, I'm going to bring in my man who knows every single stat from every single team since the 80s and 90s, basketball and football. My man, J to the B. JB! What up, JB? You and your feelings again. You got the smooth grooves on, man.
Don't disturb this groove, man. Don't disturb it.
You listening to what's the name of that group?
The System.
Yeah, the System. Back in the breakdance days. Yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom out. I can't zoom out. Oh well. It's playing in the background. I can't do it.
You and your feelings today, huh?
Man, it's never a bad thing to hear some good music.
True. That's when music was good.
Especially some old school. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Music don't necessarily be good no more, though.
We got guys walking around, Lil Popeye and Lil Dirt Stain and Lil Diddy.
You said Lil Dirt Stain.
Whatever. Some of that old school.
So let's bring in the other guy. He was the rookie of the team, but he ain't a rookie no more. But he does have the foulest fucking mouth in the city. Foul mouth. See?
What up, fellas? What up?
What up, foul mouth?
Trying to get this shit right. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's why I wasn't zooming.
I'm very happy to be here.
You got to shine. You got to shine on your forehead.
You know what? I told you I'm looking real angelic around this motherfucker.
You look real light-skinned.
Yeah, man. I got to embrace it, baby.
Both of y'all were looking real light-skinned, boy. Just don't act like it. Just please don't act like it.
What even is that?
Don't act. That was real light-skinned.
We ain't jerks like dark-skinned people.
Huh?
We not jerks like dark-skinned people.
We're not jerks either. Let's bring in the last part of the All-Star team. Is the newest part that is on screen now. I mean, he's not new to the All-Star team, but he's new on screen, and we'll be seeing a lot more of him. Frank the Tank.
What's up, everyone? And JB with the entrance music. Now I got to get some sort of an entrance music.
Hey, every good superhero should have some.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. I'm a classicals rock type guy, so I might pop out some classical rock up in here.
Hey, some Duran, some Richard Marx. Let's get it.
There you go.
So I was saying that the rookie minicamp was this past weekend. And I know somebody who was there and has the inside info. I'd like to bring him in, but I think he stepped away for a second. Oh, there he is. So we can bring him in. We all know him as well. I know him as H2, but we mostly know him as the guy that asks the phenomenal questions. He don't bite his tongue. He asks whatever the fuck he wants to ask. And
best type of people right there.
He just don't get an answer, but he asked it. But yeah, so he was there over the weekend, and he probably has a little inside info for us. So let's pick his brain. My man Herb Howard.
What's good? What's good with y'all, man?
What's going on, bro?
What's the word, man? Happy to be on with y'all, man. Appreciate y'all having me back, man. For real.
Yes, sir.
Man, we love you on here, man. We love you on here.
It's mutual.
So, Herb, we had a great weekend, man. We had an exciting weekend, bro. But I know that you saw some things that were noteworthy.
Yeah.
And of course, we want to know what happened at rookie camp, man. Some of those guys were looking good, but then shit, they got cut the next day.
Yeah. No, I think that, first of all, it's rookie mini camp. It's shorts and t-shirts. It's something that vaguely resembles football, but not really. You know what I mean? And you talk about world-class athletes, I expect all of them to look good in shorts and t-shirts. And for the most part, they did. It was small little nuanced things that I was kind of looking for, specifically from some of the draft picks. And so the biggest thing I was looking for was from Velus Jones. I wanted to see that speed in person. Like, does it really translate onto the field? You see it on the tape. Watching this tape, you can see it too. And so I knew that it probably would, but just getting the chance to kind of stand on the sideline and kind of watch him run, you can see that he is one of those different kind of cats, a different kind of speed that a lot of people don't have. And it was apparent just kind of standing out there watching him. So that was the first thing I wanted to see. Like, is he really that? Is he like a track dude, or is he really that fast on the grass? And he is. You can see that just in his little, short yardage burst. They catch a little pass and they, burst with the field 10, 15 yards. You can see that burst is different from all the other receivers going through the drill, and that his speed is legit. Like, it's not just a 4.31 on the clock. It's like legit. So that was number one thing I was looking for. Footwork from some of the linemen. They drafted 4 linemen. They brought in a bunch of other ones. Just wanted to see what their footwork was like, how they move. You can see some of those things. Other things is really hard to tell, again, out there in shorts and t-shirts. But I thought, for the most part, the guys that they drafted showed well, for what it was.
So, Herb, I'm going to ask you, since you brought it up.
Yeah.
I ain't calling him Velus yet. I'm calling him Velvet. That's his name until he proves.
Still getting that jersey, man.
Beautiful. No. What is that, Velvet?
There you go, Velvet Jones. So, what I want to ask you, you're probably really not going to see it just yet because we don't know what Getsy's system is going to look like. But do you see him more in that, like, Jakeem Grant, like when he comes on the field, it's going to be some type of quick screen, reverse, some type of, trick play or whatever, as opposed to at Tennessee where we know he was kind of like a one-trick pony, like just beat everybody and we'll throw it deep. And then, of course, we have the special teams aspect that he brings. But, like, is he someone that you feel we should get excited about? Because as of today, I am not.
I definitely think he adds an explosive element, right? But I think, like you said, we tried to go through that whole process last year, not only with Jakeem, but with Goodwin and with Bird, all that. It was just like, we much faster this year. So I wouldn't say it's a reason to get excited, but I'm very intrigued by his speed. Not only because he's fast, but he's also big. Like he's that fast in a strong body, right? You know what I mean? He's not one of those small guys. He's not Jakeem Grant. He's 6 foot, 200-pound dude. You know what I mean? And so you can see that element of him in terms of his yards after catch. Like he's when he get the ball in his hand, he's dangerous. So I think that they'll find ways to use him, try to get him out in space, bubble screens. I'm sure you'll see some of those, kind of trick plays or whatever it may be for him. But I think that he'll be more than just kind of a gadget player. I think that he is a guy who has a lot of experience in terms of truly playing the wide receiver position. So I think that he's a guy that you can get out there and run him through your regular system. It doesn't have to be, okay, he's on the field, alert, gadget coming. He can actually go through the system. I think that because he can do all of the normal things, that will probably make him more effective at the gadget stuff, because it's not like that's what's going to come as soon as he's on the field. But I'm mostly excited to see if he takes over the kick returner job, the punt returner job. I think if he can do that for you as a kick returner, I think that immediately he can come in and be an impact player for you. I don't know how much of an immediate impact he's going to make offensively. It's a lot to learn at wide receiver in the league.
Absolutely.
And so I wouldn't expect a whole lot from him there. I will say he'll bring that explosive element to it, but I'm not going to say he's going to, be the difference between winning and losing and nothing like that. But on special teams, I think he can be. I think he's a guy who can get you an extra first down every single kickoff. And so as opposed to getting to the 25, maybe now you're at the 30, 35, and maybe he busts a couple of those for you throughout the season. And so I think that's where he can make an immediate impact if he wins that job. The Bears got, Khalil Herbert, who was amongst the league leaders in kick return yards last year. They got Byron Pringle, who's gotten a lot of experience doing that. He's an explosive player as well. And then they drafted Treston Ebner from Baylor, and he led the Big 12 in return yards and stuff like that. So I think that if Baylor wins, I think he can help you in that area first.
High side, low side. High side being Debo, low side. I wouldn't even say low side. High side being Debo, mid side being Sammy Watkins, who's a bigger receiver, not as fast, but a bigger built guy.
Yeah, I think he got a lot of comparisons to Cordero Patterson because they both came out of Tennessee and kind of both these hybrid players. Is he a running back? Is he a receiver? Is he a kick returner? I don't know exactly what comp I would give him just yet. I like the Debo comp. I don't know that he can get to that level. And I don't know if they're going to even put him in the backfield that often. But just in terms of his body and explosiveness, he's more like that than I would say he is Sammy Watkins or Cordero. So we'll just have to see, man. I won't put too much on him. I don't have a lot of expectations for the Bears this year, man. I think that we all got to kind of take a collective deep breath and understand that we kind of finna go through it a little bit this year. They'll be competitive. If everything goes well, they can be competitive, and they may get around 500 or something like that. But it's not going to be pretty, man. It's not going to be pretty. I think they're going to have to grind it out. The defense is going to have to play well, get some turnovers, make some plays in the kicking game, and give the offense a chance late. But it ain't going to be a sexy season offensively for the Bears, and he ain't going to change that.
Yeah,
I like how
I don't get why everybody's so in love with this whole Debo comp. I think everybody just caught up in the moment because up until last year, nobody wouldn't have been comparing anybody to Debo Samuel.
Right. I always said, would Debo be the same Debo if he didn't have that 49ers coach, man? He was in a great system that made him great. That is,
Kyle Shanahan is known for innovation like that.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the blueprint now. Like if you can get a guy, a Swiss
I think Debo's a nice receiver, but I don't think he's all world. I think he's probably the most physical wide receiver in the NFL. But outside of that,
Delvin got to learn the route tree first because right now his route tree is limited. So
Herb, I wanted to ask you too. Speaking of what JB was talking about, how did he look as far as running routes? Were they crisp? Were they a little off?
Yeah, I watched him closely just to see, how he moves, right? Is he fluid in terms of in and out of his break? Straight line speed is straight line speed, but getting in and out of those breaks, sinking those hips, that's the kind of thing I was really looking for. And he has that kind of movement. He can move like that. Like you see the movement in him, right? And I think that, I found that to be positive and refreshing. That he's not just a kind of robotic, like I'm fast, but like only fast, like straight like this. Like he can kind of sink his hips, he can get down in there. He's 25 years old. He's had 7 years to kind of hone his skill after high school to be ready for this thing. And so, I think that he'll come in as prepared as he can be. He seems like a really committed young man, like a dude that's, all about football. Don't seem like he about a whole bunch of other shit, going out partying. That don't really seem to be his thing. He seems like a natural born leader.
Wearing suits.
Well, hell, he's grown. He's grown. He's a grown man.
Wait till you get a hold of the Chicago nightlife, then we'll judge.
Right. I think that I heard you say the suits. And I was on a show yesterday, and somebody asked me about that too, and I was like, I think that's overblown. I don't care what he showed up to work in. You know what I mean? Like you a football player, you could have came in sweats. Now, I think it's cool that he brought his whiteboard, and I think he's been intentional about learning the system. I'm more impressed with the whiteboard than the suit. I don't care what he said Dallas Howard.
Right.
We didn't want him to show up in a Cam Newton wardrobe outfit going on.
Oh, my God. I don't want Cam Newton to show up in Cam Newton.
Hey, so Preston Ebner was getting a lot of work on Saturday. Do you think they like the way he moves?
I think that I think that he is a natural pass catcher. out of the backfield, which is something the Bears don't have. David Montgomery has worked hard at it. He's gotten better at it, but he's not a natural pass catcher. You can just see it. Same thing with Khalil Herbert. He can do it. He's not a natural pass catcher out of the backfield. Treston Ebner is that. And so I think that he can carve out a role for them there in terms of, third down ability, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. If he can pick up the blitz packages, though, that's going to be the thing for him to get on the field, right? So it's one thing to be out there and run routes or isolate him on the linebacker and hit him on the arrow or something across the middle. He can do those things. But if you can confuse him with your blitz package and get Justin killed, he ain't going to get on the field. So his first thing is going to have to be able to pick up the blitz packages. If he can do that, I think that he gives the Bears an opportunity to create some mismatches in the passing game on 3rd down. So I do think that they like what he brings. I think, again, they like him in terms of his special teams element as well, and also his experience running the outside zone. That's what they ran at Baylor. And so, he's used to the outside zone, which is what the Bears are going to implement this year. And so, I think he's a good fit for them. Again, it's going to be how quickly can he pick up his protection duties, and is he a willing protector? You know what I mean? You turn this tape, and it's mostly tape of him having the ball in his hand.
In his hand, right?
Got to dig deep to find him, making some blocks, and I think that's going to be critical. You got Justin Fields learning his second system in 2 years. You got to keep him safe, and so anybody that's going to be a liability in terms of getting Justin lit up back there ain't going to be on the field. So before anything else, Treston's got to get the pass pro down.
Yeah, and I mean, Nagy's not your coach, so that's more protection right there as it is.
That's real. That's real. I think that one of Matt Nagy's biggest issues was his lack of ability to honestly assess who the Bears were, right? He couldn't reconcile who they actually were on the field, what we wanted them to be in his brain. And so he's like, we the Chiefs. Fam, you don't got Patrick Mahomes here. You don't got Travis Kelce. You don't got Cheetah. You don't got none of these dudes, right? So you need to stop fooling yourself into that. And Luke Getsy's talked about, tailoring the offense to the players that he has. And I think that's just any good coach does that, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You tailor it to the players that you got. And Matt Nagy failed to do that. And I think ultimately, as much as anything else, that cost him his job. Hopefully the Bears won't do that again.
Yeah.
Well, that would mean he had an evolving offense is what we need. Can't just be my way and that way out. But when I was watching, so, I went back and looked at a little footage. His footwork coming out the backfield, man, he got a little bit of Kevin Falk in him. I don't know if you all think that. With, like you said, with the natural pass catching, also in and out his breaks real quick on them angle routes. I'm like, that's kind of reminding me of Kevin Falk, which is good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I really saw a little bit of McCoy in him, like early years McCoy.
Oh, a little bit of Philly McCoy?
Yeah, Philly McCoy in there. I mean, obviously, I think he's a little bit bigger than Philly McCoy, but
he is.
He had that burst out of that backfield,
But
so,
like
Herb, did anybody else stand out to you?
Dominique Robinson, but not necessarily in a good way, right? We know we know that he was a receiver 2 years ago. He was a quarterback in high school, and so this is a dude who's been playing DN for just a couple of years, right? And so that was one of the first things I asked him in his press conference was, did he feel like a natural DN? Did he feel comfortable with that position, having only played it for a short time? And of course, he said, yeah. And obviously, he's got some physical traits and some things to like. It got him drafted in the 5th round after only doing that for 2 years, right? And so, he has some natural ability. He certainly has the speed rush. He has that bend to kind of bend the corner like that, and that's cool. But when he walked in the room and you stood in front of him, it was like, yo, this, like, if they ever came in and said he's a wide receiver, I would have believed that too. Like, he don't look like a DN to me. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not big and bulky. Okay.
How's that look? How does it look?
Hey, he looked like if he was like, I play wide receiver, I'd be like, yeah, he does. He probably does, right? Like, not DN. And so I think that he's kind of in the position, where Charles Snowden was at rookie minicamp too, right? And he was a guy who the Bears liked his traits last year, but he wasn't really ready to get on the field yet. He was kind of developing his body. And just looking at him this weekend, you can tell that he's kind of gone through that process of developing his body. And so hopefully, ideally, Charles Snowden would kind of elevate himself into the role that maybe Travis Gibson played last year. As Trevor Gibson moves up into the starter role, Charles Snowden kind of take over his role. And then I would say that Dominique Robinson is probably going to be, for lack of a better term, kind of red-shirted this year, right? And I think that, maybe they'll find some packages for him where they can come in and say, okay, 3rd down pass rush specialist, bend the corner, pin your ears back and just go, right? And maybe he'll be able to do a couple of those things for you. But I think that ultimately he's going to have to really, transform his body to be an NFL level DN. I thought that was something that just kind of jumped out at me as soon as I saw him. Like, this, I don't know about DN. You know what I mean? Not right away. But we've seen it. Mark Anderson wasn't a big dude either, right? If you come in and you bend the corner and you do your thing, so he may be able to help. But just even in watching him stand next to Charles Snowden, it was like, yeah, he's kind of where he was before, and now Charles kind of developed his body, and so interesting to see. Good for Charles Snowden. Interesting, maybe not so good for Dominique Robinson. Not to say that he won't develop or he won't contribute, but he's got to transform his body.
Yeah, because I know it's rookie minicamp, camp, but are you saying that you could see him possibly getting put on the practice squad?
No, I don't think they would try to. I don't think they would try to do that. I think they like his traits too much to try to sneak him on the practice squad. I think somebody would probably pluck him off the practice squad just because this is a guy who could ultimately be. I mean, I'm saying what I'm saying about him physically, but he could ultimately be one of these steals of the draft. You get him in the 5th round. If this is a guy who really turns into a productive pass rusher for you, and he really turns into a guy who can bend the corner. He's 8, 9, 10 sacks, perennially. Like, I think that's that could be a steal in the 5th round. And so I'm not saying that he's a bad pick. I'm just saying he's going to have to develop his body, but I don't think they can sneak him on the practice squad. I think somebody else would also view him as a long-term project that could really pay dividends, in the end. Kind of what the Bears did. The Bears, they did this not only with Travis Gibson, but they did it with Roy Robertson Harris too.
Robertson Harris, yes.
Undersized, coming out of UTEP, and it's like what does this dude even play? And then he put on the weight. They found a position for him. He played well. Then he went and got himself paid down in Jacksonville. I think that Travis Gibson is on a similar trajectory. And maybe Charles Snowden would follow, and then Dominique after that. So I definitely think the Bears like having him around. I don't think they'll put him on the practice squad, but he's going to have to certainly just put on some weight, develop.
But him making the 53 Herb is just for depth right now, right?
Yeah, I can't really see and he's also a guy that can probably contribute for you on special teams. Again, he's a guy that's athletic enough to maybe play the edge of punt team, block, release, get down the middle of the field. He should probably show up for you there and make some tackles, use his speed. He can be productive for you in that area. Kickoff team, he can be productive for you in that area. But in terms of defensively, I think that the Bears will probably be looking for Quinn, Gibson, maybe Snowden or some other guys before Dominique Robinson this year.
How about our first 2 picks?
I was just going to ask that too, because I saw that crazy video of him jumping up in the air. That corner jumping up. I know he's not that big, but when I saw him make that jump, I was like, oh, wow.
Kyler got hops, man.
That guy had crazy athleticism on him.
Yeah, no, that dude is an athlete for sure. I mean, his coach in college said that he's the most athletic player he's ever coached, right? And then they had McDuffie go in the 1st round before him, so he's the number 2 corner on his team. And his coach still like, he's the most athletic dude we've ever had. And so that athleticism shows up. Again, shorts and t-shirt. He's a world-class athlete. There's no way he's going to look bad out there. You know what I mean? You're just trying to see his hips. Like, how quickly can he transition from his back pedal to turn and run? Those types of things. How quickly can he change direction, plant his foot, drive on the football coming forward? As in the cover 2, that's kind of going to be what he's expected to do. He's going to play, 7, 8 yards off. He's going to drop to 15, keep the play in front of him. Can he drive on that thing? The instincts is kind of what you're looking for. And just kind of watching him, you see that he does have those natural football instincts of, even just things like, okay, if number 1 goes this way, let him go, get my ass to number 2. Those types of things. He seems to have, those natural football instincts. I think those things are going to serve him well. The Bears are going to need him to be the number 2 corner. I mean, Thomas Graham, who knows what that is, right? But I think the Bears need Kyler to actually secure that number 2 corner spot. And so far, so good. I mean, he looks the part. He's got the size. He's got the speed, enough speed. He's got the athleticism for sure. And in the cover 2, I think that's all that's going to be asked of him. And so I think that he's the guy that's going to be able to come in and probably assimilate rather quickly into this defense.
So with that being said, Herb, bring in Thomas Graham. If they run that nickel, I know they want to run that hybrid, that new Tampa 2, not Lovey's Tampa 2, but that new Tampa 2. And you have that nickel package in. It wasn't that long ago, a couple of years, 2019, Thomas Graham was one of the top DBs in the nation.
Yeah.
So him at nickel, Brisker now, you got a thumper and a very heady safety. Like, is this Bears defense kind of coming together a little bit better than we think, especially in the secondary?
Yeah, I think the Bears address those needs, right? You go out there, you get another corner, and anytime you can get a corner that kind of bumps other guys down, Thomas Graham, whoever it may be, and so if you kick Thomas Graham inside, Then you let him compete with Duke Shelley for nickel, and then now you got something going on right there. And then one of those two guys wins that spot. You get Kyler outside, Jalen outside. Let Bojack hang out in the back. Let Jaquan just kind of run around, make plays in that 12 to 15-yard range, make plays on running backs out the backfield. I think that the secondary can be better than we might have expected. I think they turned a weakness into, I don't want to say a strength just yet, but they turned it into a less of a weakness, right? You're not so much worried about it as you were. Yeah, for sure. And so I think that's definitely a good thing. Talking to Alan Williams, the DC, he was just talking about that cover too, and he was like, it's not necessarily Matt Eberflus's defense. It's not necessarily mine either. He was saying, he was like, it's the cover too, and it's got elements of Lovey's in there. It's got elements of Rob Marinelli. It's got elements of Tony Dungy. It's got all of that in there. So we just kind of see what it turns into. But I think that they got themselves a couple of nice pieces that are going to fit well into that defense. I think having a guy that is just a headhunter like Jaquan Brisker that's necessary, man. I got 5 on his first fine. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and take somebody's head off. You know what I mean?
I ain't mad at him. And then I'm looking for Morrow to kind of be thrown in the cuss too, because remember, we don't know what he is yet coming back off that injury, but he's going to be key because now they're going to have a lot of space to roam. Him and Roquan going to have a lot to cover now.
Man, as Nakobe Dean kept dropping down that board, the inside back from Georgia, I'm like, man, just pull the trigger on dude, man. Like, just pull the trigger on him. He's too productive. He's too good to let him keep.
He ended up going in the fourth, right?
Yeah, I know. He had a was it a neck or a shoulder? Something he had.
There's a pec injury.
Okay, yeah, he didn't want to get the surgery, something like that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of teams kind of red flagged it on the medical, but you see somebody that's that talented and that productive sliding down the board. I'm like, man, pull the trigger. Put that boy next to Roquan. Let them two dogs go crazy.
I heard some foolishness. I heard that they were talking about his height, and I'm like, immediately started thinking about like Sam Mills. I started thinking about
Dexter Coakley.
Fletcher.
Like guys that just fly around and smack people. Like, it don't matter. You know what I mean?
Come on, like, let's not make it like 5'11" is like, you can't play.
Yeah, no, especially when you talk about in the cover too, right? The idea of that is to keep the offensive linemen off of your linebackers, right? Yep. Keep them guys off your linebackers. And so if you got guys who are instinctive and fast, Roquan ain't big, you know what I'm saying? But he's instinctive and he's quick. And so that's what Morrow is too. And that's what Nakobe Dean is ultimately going to be in the league too. So that don't concern me none. I'll take a 5'10", 235-pound dude that just run and smack people. Give me him. I'm cool with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Did you see anybody else? How about some of those undrafted free agents? I know everybody's high on this one guy. I think his name is Henry Littman.
Yeah. No, I think they got some intriguing prospects at receiver. They got some intriguing prospects at linebacker as well. But I think every year, around the spring and summer, is going to be like all these, media darlings and like, oh, this dude could be nice for us this year. That dude ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I mean? Like he's where he is for a reason. And maybe every now and then you'll find a gem. And I'm not trying to knock those dudes. They great, football players and they deserve to be where they are. But I'm not banking on them, being major contributors. None of them this year. Who was the dude who was catching all the touchdowns in preseason last year? He didn't see the field, right?
Bird.
No.
The tall kid ended up going to the Colts.
He had a baby like
number 13. Number 13. Adams, Rodney Adams.
Fucking name.
What's his name?
Rodney Adams.
Rodney Adams.
Yeah.
That's it.
Last summer, everybody was convinced he was going to the Pro Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we gotta we don't.
Preseason's a total different game than what the NFL.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I've been hearing people calling Littman Dane Sanzenbacher, and I was like, I remember that guy, and he was a try hard, good hard nosed guy. Maybe make the team, but is he Wayne Corbett? I don't know.
Listen, man. It's always one of these dudes. It's always one of these. Diminutive white receivers, and they like he runs good route. He's smart. He knows the game. Cool, wonderful. Like that's cool for Wes Welker, for Danny Amendola, a couple of people. But you're not gonna find one of these dudes every year. Dane Sanzenbacher wasn't that guy. You know what I mean? He was productive at Old State, and I liked him. But come on, man, like probably not. Probably not. Furthermore, if he does ascend to that level, that's gonna say some bad things about Equinemius St. Brown, about Byron Pringle, about you know what I mean? Like, so maybe.
You're kind of on the right team though, because there ain't no wide receiver depth really on this team right now. You don't have, other than Mooney, who is a great, he is your number one right now, but he's more your number 1B.
Not according to Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, he's like a
number 3.
Dan Orlovsky. Yeah,
I don't even want to talk about Dan.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve our airtime.
Nah, Frank, I feel you on that. Like he, because they lack depth, or top end talent at that position, it does create opportunities for guys to kind of come out of nowhere and say, hey, I can carve out me a role here. And so I think that is, if I was an undrafted free agent wide receiver, I'd be talking to my agent like, give me to the Bears. Like, they don't got nobody that's a clear-cut number one. I can make that team. You know what I mean? And so it makes a lot of sense for those guys. But I'm more intrigued by Byron Pringle, right? He's a guy who was 4th, 5th, out there in Kansas City, but was still able to put up some numbers there. And I think given more of an opportunity, he's a guy that could really develop and say, hey, this dude is better than a number 3, number 4 option. He could actually ascend and maybe be the Bears' number 2 or 1. I think that he has some athletic ability that excites me. I'm not predicting that he's going to be, 1,000-yard guy like that, but I think that if anybody is going to kind of go from relatively unknown to making a name for himself, it would be Byron Pringle, and it's because nobody is really stopping his progress in front of him. I like Darnell Mooney, I really do. I think he approaches the game well. He takes it serious. He's got some talent too. I like Darnell Mooney, but he's not an elite level number 1. So Byron Pringle or anybody else can go get their shot.
Well,
I'm actually intrigued by St. Brown.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Intrigued by that. I think he can really get a shot there at Green Bay. Be honest with you.
No.
Well, Getsy likes him for some reason. That's why he's here.
Yeah, and from what I heard, because I have friends, unfortunately, who are big Packers fans, and I mean, he was never given a chance. Aaron Rodgers did not like him. And when Aaron Rodgers doesn't like somebody, you're not playing.
Absolutely.
You're not even going to get a chance. You're not playing. I don't know if he wasn't combing Karen Rodgers' hair properly or something. I don't know. But when it comes down to that, like, Aaron Rodgers
kissing that ass.
Right.
Like, right. And then I like him. Then he's going to be a great Bear if that's going to be the case.
Hey Herb, I have one more really pressing question for you that was like kind of like I didn't want to say nothing, but with that line that we see, right? Who do you think might be the odd man out? Because I've been hearing some good things about the line before linemen.
No, it's Sam Mustipher. He can't play right guard, man.
Hey, watch it now.
Watch it, Owen.
Your ass.
So wait. We're not talking about him playing right starting guard. We're talking about him being like 3rd on the depth chart now, right?
I'm talking about him getting cut.
Ooh. Yeah, like he might not make the team. You know what I mean?
I said when they drafted that guy for U of I, man.
Yeah, you're going to put Patrick at center.
Well, Lucas Patrick is your center. Like, we know that. Cody's your left.
Right.
Tev,
you got the 2 kids outside. The only spot that's really
Tevin Borum, left and right, left or right.
So right guard. Like that was the line that they ran out there. When they, at voluntary camp a couple weeks ago. That was the group that was out there. And Sam was at right guard. And just looking at him, he was an undersized center. And at center, you can be a little smaller. Right guard, that's not the same. And even him standing next to Lucas Patrick, you was like, yo, he's way bigger than him. Like, Patrick is way bigger.
We never saw how big he was because next to James Daniels, he didn't look that small.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you get out there on the field and whatever, but, like, just, even when he would just walk into the media room and he just got on his shorts and T-shirt, like, yeah, this dude he's not a huge dude. You know what I mean? You don't have to be at center. Again, we've seen undersized centers have a lot of success, but I don't know about undersized right guards having a lot of success. You talking about real monsters over you right now. You talking about trying to, run the ball outside zone to the right. Like, I don't see that happening. I know that Ryan Post came in and he said that he likes, smaller, quicker linemen, right? And maybe he fits the bill and maybe that'll work out. But if you ask me who's going to be the odd man out, I would say it's him. And then somebody will have an opportunity to kind of slide into, that right guard spot.
Who do you like? Because we like the kid from Southern Utah, of course, but
Braxton.
I like my man that reminds me of David DeCastro. That's who I like. He real nasty, beard, everything. I like him.
DeCastro, nasty. You know what I mean? That was when he came out of school, you knew he was going to be a beast, and then he went right to the right team, the Steelers. Like, you know what I mean? It was a perfect storm for him. I don't know. I think just watching those guys, they got good size. You can see that they have some movement ability. Their feet moved well. Just watching them do small things. Again, T-shirts, you ain't gonna see much from linemen, but the things that you can watch when they did drills with like the tight ends and they do the combo blocks and they boom and up to the linebacker, like you can see their feet and their movement ability. You can see their punch when they got to the bag. Those are the types of things that I was kind of looking for, and those guys had it. It was interesting talking to Braxton Jones. He's a big dude. He's just so nice. He's so nice, dog. Like, just talking to him, like, man, this is just a nice kid. Like, and he's so well spoken and soft spoken. So I just jumped out at me. I was like, yo, Braxton, you ever had a fight, man? Like, in the middle of the press conference, I was like, you ever had a fight? And he was like, huh? I was like, a fist fight. You ever had one? And he was like, yeah. I was like, when last time you had a fist fight? And he was like, well, like my sophomore year in college. And I was like, on the football field? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you slapped somebody in the helmet a couple times and they broke it up.
I got a chance to speak to him too after the practice. I said, "You a big dude, man." He just big. Smiled like, "Yeah, he's a big dude, man. Really big dude, intimidating." But who's the DeLance, Gene DeLance? I got a chance to talk to him too. He was like, "Man, Braxton, he's nothing, man. You just put your hands in the chest and drive him back." And we all got a laugh out of that.
Yeah,
but we got.
Go ahead, T.
I was gonna say we got our second guest here in the back, and I know all five of us are familiar with this guy.
Absolutely.
One of the most dynamic running backs we've had, and he also is an Ohio State product. I tried to pull up his highlights, but I couldn't find them. But I know they're out there. I sent
them to you, T. I sent them to you.
Send me some too, please, because
I couldn't get them on the computer.
Oh, really?
I couldn't get them on the computer. But yeah, so we are going to have a time talking with the ultra back.
Yeah.
Raymont Harris.
My man.
What's
good,
happening,
fellas?
Raymont?
I'm chilling. What's good? How y'all doing today?
Man, come on, man.
What's going on, brother?
Man, y'all got so much knowledge. I'm like sitting back listening. I'm getting scoops on the wide receivers, the goddamn offensive linemen, and how quick somebody's feet are moving, whether or not they're playing cover two. I'm like, damn, I see y'all.
Hey, we see you. Welcome to the Great Club, baby.
I appreciate that, man. It's good to be here. Let's go, Bears. Come on, let's bear down.
You know it.
I'm gonna jump right in, T. I'm gonna jump right in. I gotta ask.
Go ahead.
Ask. Because I remember the Holiday Bowl. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sure.
When did you first get the name Ultraback? Everybody's been dying to know that.
Oh shit. Yo, man. So real talk, I made that name up like probably I want to say like my sophomore year at Ohio State. So everyone at O State, like within my backfield, I want to say through my time at O State, 6 of us all went to the league. Eddie George, Robert Smith, Butler Benote, Carlos Snow, Scotty Graham, all of us. So I mean, all these dudes, we had some animals. So yeah, man, like I just kind of needed like kind of set myself apart, and I just kind of came up with. I mean, some of them dudes were like faster than me. Some dudes were had more stats. Maybe someone had better hands or something like that. But I was the one guy that could do all the blocking. I could do the running. I can catch. I could pass block and run block, but then also be a receiver. So I just kind of made that name up. And then I just brought it with me to Chicago, and that shit caught on there. So it was all love, man. Just took off.
Right.
Absolutely. That's dope right there.
Yeah, I hope y'all can.
Eddie George, Robert Smith, 026.
Yeah, we can hear you,
yeah,
but
man, we had
probably a little shaky because you in one place.
Yeah, man.
Is it because he got to turn his phone? Sometimes that works.
Yeah. Try to turn your phone to the side. Yeah.
How about like this?
Okay. Yeah, that's
the connection is better like that. Shit, I
see you better. The connection.
Yes.
Y'all change the aesthetic.
All right, man.
So
it's like some old school. Y'all had me like blowing into the speaker and shit.
How was it playing with Curtis Conway? I know he threw you that bullet, but was he like a leader in the locker room or?
Yeah, Seaway, that was my guy. That's probably like my best friend from the team. Seaway wasn't really like a leader. I mean, of course he was a leader. He was more of like a leader by action. And dude was so talented, so gifted that it's hard not to follow him and be down with him. He also worked his ass off. But Seaway was so cool, so easy. We're like the same age, but there's something like young and innocent about him. He was always kind of like my little brother. So I mean, you guys don't know me like this, but my personality is more of when I kind of step in the room, I'm kind of like someone who's just like, I'm more like a big brother and I want to take over. So Seaway was always like definitely like the same age, my ace, but he was also like a little brother, but he was super talented, man. Love that dude.
Yeah, he spoke very highly of you too when we had him on the show.
Yeah, so that's my guy. That's my
all
ace.
love right there, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we cool.
Dive right into that season, man, because man, we had high hopes. You, Seaway, Rashawn Salam, Michael Timpson, like we had Jeff Graham, like y'all had a squad, man. Y'all had a squad.
Look, we had squad. So which year we talking? We talking
so
95,
well the 1 year that
96?
Eric Kramer. Well, 97, I'm gonna let you talk about that in a minute because that's when you just said F the world, I'm doing me.
Yeah, I'm gonna love that. Yeah. I want to say like so Kramer came in and so me and Eric Kramer, we came the same year. So I was a
94.
rookie. Right, 94. So but the starting running backs they picked up Merrill Hodges, the fullback, they picked up Lewis Tillman.
Yep, Lewis Tillman.
And they picked up Jeff Graham, who was my teammate at Ohio State. You know how we do at Ohio State. You know, we represent this. Anyway. So they had like this actually like from all the names compared to like the rest of the league, we didn't have a lot of like big names of people that went to the Pro Bowl or anything like that. But it was like we had like some real good complementary pieces. And then unfortunately for him, like when Merrill Hodge like messed his neck up, they gave me a chance to play. And then once I got in, I mean, I wasn't going to get up. I wasn't going back out. So it was cool to kind of be on the squad. First time in the league, watching the team mature, and then really like getting our a true identity by the time the end of the season came. Because even though we, were getting like pounded by Minnesota and some of the other like good teams, by the time we got to the end of the year, I mean, we were good enough to, as obviously like be able to kind of upset them in the wild card game and
right.
shit. End up having like a positive season. So it was a great experience.
Yep, that was a 9-7 count. So how was Dave Wannstedt? Because we've heard some stories that like he tried to be Dicker Jr. Just saying.
Yeah, that's good. I get that. Like, what's let me see. Wannstedt, he was a defensive minded coach. He was a good guy, nice guy. He wasn't always like the most forthcoming, especially when it came to like being like an offensive player.
I feel like you tiptoeing around saying he wasn't a good coach.
Nah. See, that's the thing. It's nuanced. So, and I feel you. I'm not like a tiptoe guy. I like to, like, I mean, it's something, it's easy to say, oh, he was trash, or this person wasn't any good, or he was a bad coach. And that's not the case. He wasn't a bad coach. He was a good coach. He was a great defensive coach, but he wasn't somebody who had much of a voice and a presence with the offense. So we being real, I ain't really know the guy that well. So
Damn.
I mean, and that's just being real, though. I mean, he's a good guy. He's nice, like I said, nice guy. He had the old school mustache and shit. Looked like he was a motorcycle cop on chips. But besides that shit, I mean, he was a good guy, but he had nothing to do with the offense. So I can't even say he's a bad coach. I don't think that's fair to him.
Okay.
Sorry, but my man was like, "Yo,
we love it. We love
tell
it.
the truth.
We love it."
You like tell the truth.
All right, Raymond, you got foul. You go ahead.
No.
You got it? All right. I got something that when I researched a little bit more about you, I laughed my freaking ass off when I saw this. You were in a Married with Children episode. My favorite show of all time growing up.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I immediately popped because I literally have all the DVDs on. I have them all on DVD.
Oh, wow.
That's when Al Bundy sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
And like I had no idea that those were actual Bears players on there. That was you, Curtis Conway, and Eric Kramer. Like, how is that being in a set like that, man?
Yeah. Yeah, that was surreal, man.
Always say it, like Al Bundy, man, one of the greatest Chicago athletes of all time. 4 touchdowns in 1 game.
Polk High, baby.
Polk High. Yeah, he was that Polk High. Hey, that was crazy. It was, I've been to California before, but never like LA and in Hollywood. So to actually go to Hollywood, be on the set, get a chance to kind of be around all these stars. The guy that played the devil was the same guy that played Freddy Krueger. Yeah. I mean,
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund. I see you. Somebody you got knowledge and shit. I see you.
He's got a lot of them. He's on a lot of Married Children episodes. He's playing himself,
I didn't know that shit. So then Christina Applegate and David Faustino. So like hanging out with Ed O'Neill and all these people, man, it was unreal. And as in all of them as we all were, I mean, them not being able to be like professional athletes and curious about like the NFL and that kind of stuff, they were like fans asking us like a million questions, and you could just tell it was all real genuine, all love. So it was a really cool experience, man. I mean, it was. I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm still getting residual checks from that show.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That show it be showing in all international waters and everywhere.
They
and it's crazy, man.
Like their own channel that shows repeats of that show still.
Oh man, India, China, England, all of those places. You're all over Europe, and then also it still has like reruns here too. So yes, it was like it's an iconic moment in my life, man. That I'll never forget for sure.
Hey, tell me this: How did Christina Applegate?
I knew you were going to say that.
I knew. You know what, man? I knew somebody was going to ask me.
Hey, shit. Hey, she was hot back in the day. I mean, sometimes they look a little different on TV than they do in real life.
My dude, that she was absolutely one of those people. I saw her in the makeup room, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Christina Applegate. And I looked at her face, man. This was before all the makeup. Yeah, she was. It was disappointing. I wasn't
like that.
I wasn't happy about it. But hey, but real talk. With that being said, what's the mom's name? Peg Bundy. What's her name? Katie Seagal. Katie Seagal. Yeah, she was like really attractive. Because on the show, exactly. They got her. She got this wig on, and makeup wise, they make her seem like
she a clown, right?
Yeah, but like in real life, I mean, at the time back then, man, she was like surprisingly attractive. Christina Applegate was okay, but Katie Seagal, real talk, I think she was probably like more attractive, which is crazy.
Wow, nobody would have guessed that. That's some inside.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
giving you all scoops. I'm over here giving you scoops.
So, did you have any aspirations of acting after you did that?
Nah. I was good. I wasn't that great with that. It took me like 3 or 4 times just to say my little line. That didn't go all that well. But yeah, I got mad personality. But yeah, I'm probably not. I figured out. Yeah, that's not gonna be the way I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. because you are definitely one of the most underrated Bears running backs. You know what I'm saying? And Bears history, actually.
I appreciate that.
I agree with that.
I remember when you was on top of your game, man. Everybody in Chicago was speaking you up, man. Raymont, he need to get more pub.
He need the ball
because the national media was like totally ignoring you. But us Bears fans,
like you took that ball.
We appreciate the shit out of what you was doing out there.
You just took that ball in '97 and ran away with it, man. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I appreciate that love, fellas. I didn't come into the league as a man, so I got drafted in the 4th round, and shit, they moved me to fullback.
I was gonna say you were drafted as a fullback.
Yeah, as a fullback. Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. I had never played fullback ever in my life, so I was like, yeah, I mean, cool. I mean, shit, you get a chance to go to the league, you do anything you can.
Right.
You play special teams, you move, switch positions. I'll do whatever. So, I mean, when you come in the league that way, but then have success like that first year, and then they draft the Heisman Trophy dude like in the 1st round. Yeah, it was like it was always kind of like stacked against me to be that man. But I mean, I always had faith in my skills. I always knew, man, nobody's gonna outwork me. I mean, I was strong as shit. I mean, I was fast. I mean, I had all that stuff, but I just didn't have a name. And I had like a great rapport with my teammates. So, I mean, I just think there's a lot to be said about like believing in yourself and like just like truly not giving up. And I just, I was pretty fortunate, man. And I appreciate the kind words because it's when I honestly, like real talk, when I go back to Chicago, I mean, I still get love there. And it's it always feels amazing because
when you put it all on the line here in Chicago, like you did. Yeah, when you put it all on the line like you did in Chicago, man, you're loved forever here in Chicago.
That's how we do. That's how
when you get those half-ass, not trying Eddie Jackson type people out there, you're not well loved in this city.
Almost an hour without mentioning Eddie Jackson.
Almost. So I was going to ask you, Raymont, did you feel, because you broke a lot of tackles, like that was your thing, just breaking a lot of tackles at Ohio State, mauling people, and then the guy right before you, I think his name was Brad Muster, was here in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Like, did you feel they brought you in that role because of your mauling and your ability to catch out the backfield, or do you think, because like obviously you weren't just supposed to be the lead block for Rashawn Salaam because you did too many other things?
Yeah, man. You know what? So I was always a student of the game and a historian. So I knew who Brad Muster was. He was a taller white dude from like I want to say Stanford. It's a good player.
Used to run like this.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, I get it. I'm like, he's good, he's solid, but it ain't like that's not my style. So I think what always kind of set me apart, even from like in my college days, was I always broke tackles. I always went forward. It usually take like a couple dudes to bring me down, and my style, like actually, it just fit perfectly in the black and blue division, especially in Chicago. So. I assume that's part of like why they thought it would work out and they would think I'd be a fullback. I don't think they thought I was as fast as I was. And, I mean, I've always been someone who thought, well, let me get this chance. And then once I get this chance, it's really on me to just show these dudes like that I'm not only this fullback that they think I am, but I'm actually y'all best running back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey,
so
man,
it took a couple years, but they understood.
So
I think.
Oh, go ahead. Hi.
My bad. I think back to those times, man, and for me, it was like, if nothing else, we know Raymont gonna show up. You know what I mean? He gonna show up. He gonna tote the rock. If nothing else go well, you know what I'm saying? We can turn around and hand him the ball and at least stay in the game, right? Stay ahead of the chains, that type of thing, and like. I always value you as that kind of running back, man. Just as a dude who was just dependable, was going to show up every single week, going to do what needed to be done. Whether he touched it 30 times or 3 times, you was going to do what needed to be done. And I think that, again, I think that you was always the only constant. You know, like maybe somebody might have a big game on the outside. Maybe the defense might do that. But for sure, Raymont going to tote the rock for us. And I think that, man, just having somebody I can turn around and give it to you, and I'm going to get 4 yards, that was invaluable to me, man. And it also kind of set my foundation for what I think football should be like and how you should go about playing the game. Like the Bears got a fullback this year for the first time in a long time, and I'm excited about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm excited that they got a fullback, and I think he's going to help David Montgomery. I think it'll help Khalil Herbert just to have, because not only you have somebody in front of you, but the fact that they bringing in a running back shows a commitment to the running game, man. And like, I don't know how you feel about the fullback and how it's kind of died off over time, but I like when teams keep a fullback on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm from old school, so I'm from offenses that were I formation and maybe a split back here and there, or offset I. And so we used to eat off of that I. So I always loved the fullback, and like this. I mean, the game has just really evolved into these different, more open offenses.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine like what that would be like playing in it now. Like knowing that like defenses can't stack 9 in a box. Just imagine this shit. So you play the Bears, quarterback Rick Meyer, and then they're going.
That's tough.
Yeah, and then
that's tough. I'm putting 10 in the box.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna throw 9 in the box, and they're like, "Yeah, what y'all gonna do?" And we probably still couldn't throw the ball because it'd be windy or somebody was hurt or this other thing. And so let's go ahead and run this ball. And yeah, you still got to eat like that. And to make your way in the league against the best dudes with those kind of conditions versus having like 7 in the box, it's all spread out, not knowing if it's going to be a pass or a run like that. Yeah, that shit would have been fun as hell to like playing. I would love to have had a chance as a running back to do that. But
I think Emmitt Smith
is
a first ballot Hall of Famer because he was in the right spot. Like I don't want to disrespect him as his talent, but I think that if you was in that backfield, you would have been the same type of player he was in terms of production. They had Hall of Famers outside behind him. They had that O-line. You couldn't put 9 in the box on him. And he just kind of went to work behind those dudes. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I think that he wasn't a special talent in and of himself.
I mean, I feel you. I hear you. There's a lot of me that agrees with you because a lot of the league it just depends on where you go, what system you get into, who's blocking for you, what kind of scheme, and like what kind of quarterback and kind of play calling they have for you. So like a lot of the league, most guys are just kind of interchangeable when it comes like that. There's some special dudes. There's a Barry Sanders that comes along every once in a while.
Right.
It doesn't matter what team he goes to, what scheme it is, he's going to eat. He's going to be the best in the league. So there's some of those guys. And for the most part, Emmitt, here's where we different. Emmitt was amazing. He was great. He truly benefited from like the best line in the league and Hall of Famers at quarterback and both receivers and tight end. I mean, yeah, he had a great fullback. Yeah, he had all of that, but he was also like really durable and shit. Dude played through injuries. I mean, he was crazy, with crazy expectations. I mean, that's a difficult thing to do. So I always respect him. I know that I agree with you. Yeah, he truly someone that benefited from like a system, but he was still great though, man. You still got to do
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Raymont, one of the my guy in the chat, Jesse, he was asking, how do you feel about David Montgomery, and do you kind of see a comparison that he doesn't get that love that you didn't get, but both of you all were really good, and David is pretty good too, but he's not getting that love either.
Yeah. My man, that is such an on point statement. I appreciate that. Thank you for that love. I think David Montgomery is so good, and it reminds me so much of my time in Chicago. He's someone who does not get a chance to benefit from having like a, I believe in Justin Fields, but the system was shaky. The O-line was shaky. The receiver game, besides Allen Robinson and the other dude, but the quarterback couldn't get him the ball. So they were stacking the box against him. But it didn't matter because David Montgomery was still king. He ran hard. He's so talented, man. I agree with you.
Idiot.
I see some some similarities, and I take that as a huge compliment because I think he's like such a talented young dude, man. So I appreciate those statements.
Yeah, like leading into that too. Like, I mean, I don't know if you're aware, if you're following the Bears as much, but this is David Montgomery's last year in his contract, and it's unfortunate to say that this modern era of football, the running back position's kind of dying after you're drafted. Like, you get other teams who will make a pick on them, but you don't see too many running backs out there getting a second deal with the same team, and it's because everybody's passing now. And I'm still in that point where you're still playing in the freezing ass, cold, windy weathers of Chicago. You still need that type running back. And like, I truly would love for them to re-sign David Montgomery. I just don't see them doing it because they have a really good backup running back who can be a starter. And you need to go out and get some wide receiver weapons because they don't have anybody at wide receiver right now. So like, what do you feel about like the position and the way it's going right now?
You know what, man? That's kind of the disappointing piece of today's football. Being someone who is a running back, was a running back, grew up a running back, watching Earl Campbell and Walter Payton, and all these great Tony Dorsett, all these wonderful running backs, man, dudes that were just. They were the focal point of the offense. The fact that that's not the case now, it's disappointing as a fan. But when you really think about it, you can get great running backs in the second, third, fourth, even in free agents. So like this dude's good like that nowadays. Yeah. So I guess like when you're trying to manage like a salary cap and you're trying to feel like the other pieces on the squad that are more glaring. I get it as a business move, but as a fan, it doesn't make me feel good seeing it all transpire.
I feel like if you're not special, you're expendable at running back. Yeah. It ain't cool. I'm not saying it's right, but it is what it is. If you're not special, you're expendable. If you ain't Derrick Henry or something, we can find another one. You just said that David Montgomery's backup is good. We got David Montgomery in the second round. They got Khalil Herbert in what?
Fourth or fifth, I think.
Yeah, so it's like you can find serviceable backs. Now you can't find the special ones, but if you don't got a special one, you can replace them. It is what it is.
But see, here's the thing:
guy that can get you 900, 1,000 yards for sure.
But here's the thing: how do you know how special he could be? Because in spite of Matt Nagy,
exactly.
Montgomery actually did some pretty dope things in spite of 7 carries this game. 12
Let me be clear. I fuck with David Montgomery. I'm not saying that he ain't all that y'all saying. I like the dude. I think he's really, really dope. He always falling forward. You never really catch him for a loss. You rarely bring him down with the first guy. I like David Montgomery. I'm just saying, like, unless he shows himself, and obviously you need opportunity to be able to show that, but unless he shows himself to be a really, really special running back.
Top 3 running back is what he needs.
You can find another dude to get 1,000. All I'm saying is you can find another dude to get 1,000 yards. That's like, I'm not saying that he ain't nice. I do think he's nice, but you can find 1,000 yards from somebody else.
I don't know because
in Chicago with no line and no passing
game. Line, yeah.
Come on, no line, no passing game in that weather to do what he's done. You can't just find anybody to do that shit.
Yeah, there was a great,
but I feel you though.
There was a great behind the scenes stat that I found. Like last year, David Montgomery was, what was it again, JB? It was 3.9 yards a carry.
Yes.
He was hit in the backfield 39% of the time. That is ridiculous to still have that amount of average when you're hitting the backfield with no momentum going forward, because our Denny's menu, Matt Nagy playbook always called for these delayed handoff, quick draws, and he was hitting the backfield 90% of the time. Like it was an embarrassment, and he still put up that type of yards. Like what if he comes out and rocks out like a 1,500-yard season? And
then you extend him. Like you try to extend him in the middle of the season. If he on that kind of trajectory, you extend him. I think that's certainly a possibility for him. They're gonna focus on the running game. They got a fullback in front of him. The offensive identity, they seem to know who they are and who they aren't. So I think that he could certainly have 13, 14, 1,500 yards this year. I hope he does. He has that kind of ability. Yeah. He loves the game. It's important to him. He's tough. He's everything he's needed to work on. He's worked on. He wants to get a little faster. So last offseason, he worked on that. Coming into last season, you can clearly see he was a different dude in terms of his speed. His burst was just different. We talked about him wanting to be more productive as a pass catcher out of the backfield. He worked on that. That's no longer a weakness for him. So I think that he has everything.
Pass blocker too. He improved on a lot too.
He got everything you're looking for to go out and be that special top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5 back in the league. All I'm saying is if you're not top 5 in the league, they can probably count.
But then if he does put up 1,500 yards, then he's going to ask for a big payday.
To piggyback on what Herb just said, if David Montgomery, if he doesn't like separate himself as like Herb was saying, the 1, 2, or 3, the third best running back in the league.
Top 3 running.
Then he's expendable. I mean, you got a guy behind him that could do the same things that David Montgomery.
I don't know about that. He can do a lot.
I can't agree with that.
The disrespect right now on this podcast is fucking crazy. Don't disrespect that running back.
No,
the guy is a hard-earned.
They're not gonna pay David Montgomery's gonna ask for a lot of money.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's gonna ask for a lot of money. No, I don't think that. I don't think that.
Ryan Bulls
with the Ryan Bulls position
already established himself as a guy who is not going to overspend.
Well, he's doing that.
Got no money now.
That's the thing. I want to ask Raymont this because he actually went through it being behind a Heisman Trophy winner. Once you got your shot, if they don't give you a chance to prove yourself, then you could be what they used to call just a cap casualty or something like that, right? Because if you never got your opportunity, we don't have that 1,100 yards and 10 touchdown season if you never got your opportunity, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, Raymont, what you think about all this, man?
What part? About David? I think I said what I said. Look, I understand that, like, today's game is like, there's salary caps. So you have to spend wisely. And I think you have to really address, like, the needs of the team that are going to benefit, like, the offense as a whole. I'm just going to speak offense. But I caution you. I don't know. I have to remind people sometimes it's not easy to play in Chicago. No. It's not easy. And it's really not easy when they don't make great decisions, personnel decisions with the offensive line and the scheme, and the quarterback is struggling. And now they ain't got no receivers either. So if you're going to invest, I mean, to be able to have something that's
dependable,
not just solid and dependable, but I'm talking about shit will give you a chance to win some games as well. I mean, like that kind of shit is, but I'm biased. But that kind of thing right there to me is valuable.
Yeah,
because I hate to do this because it's a sore spot. If we go back to the whole Cody Parkey double doink thing, if Matt Nagy just gives the ball to Jordan Howard, who was falling forward for 4 yards, if he just gives him the ball, Nick Foles never comes down and scores, so we're in a position to do that. They can run the clock out and run that 4-minute drill. So
thank you, John. Thank you. Now I got to go call my damn therapist again to set up another goddamn meeting. Every time you bring up Cody Parkey, my ass get PTSD.
I said I'm sorry.
Whenever I see that,
but Raymont, I know you feel our pain because it's like, dude, just give him the damn ball. Quit trying to be cute.
I mean, I feel you.
You have a Parkey.
Hey man,
that
but
guy
Parky
owned the field goal post.
But
and don't get me wrong. And we were talking about running the ball in Chicago. Kicking the ball in Chicago ain't easy either.
Right. Like, come on,
still
man.
not
Like,
defending that guy who hit more field goal posts than he actually hit field goals.
Help me help you.
Don't even say Parky. Just say CP or some shit. Don't even say Parky. Goddamn it.
Y'all forget. What about the guy? He actually blocked that kick though, man. He got his hand on that kick.
The ball or anything like that.
You don't think it did?
Hell no.
Like, it was literally like a fingernail that kind of.
Y'all so tight about that.
Y'all still on that shit.
Man, hell yeah. Hey, it ain't too many times we get close to playoff wins around this motherfucker.
Tell me about it. You know I know.
Shit, I went through fucking depression.
You ain't lying. Look, man, Raymont, I defer all running back conversations to you, man. You've been there, you've done it, so I defer to you on that. I was just saying, and I was really more of a production versus talent conversation. I think that sometimes we can kind of talk about the talent, and I'm not, disparaging his talent at all, diminishing his talent. I'm just saying in terms of production, you could probably find a productive running back, even if he's not as talented. That's all I'm saying.
But I blame that on Nagy.
I defer to you.
I blame that on Nagy.
100%, or 99% on Matt Nagy.
Yeah, Nagy has. We a team that talks about speed. All these 4-3s and 4-4 guys we got, and we ain't do shit with it. We were fucking running curls, and curls.
Only 1 yard deep too.
Can you play football? Is what I want to know.
Right, that part.
Can you play football? Like, give me a football player. All that track speed. Usain Bolt would be great. He can't catch a cold butt naked in Tibet. I don't want it.
Yeah, but you moved up. You moved up in the draft to get Justin Fields. So you moved
that's
up in the draft.
That's my grandpa shit. Saying.
I want the knife. Please.
I'll add to it. I'm naked in Tibet drinking a Slurpee. He can't catch nothing, man. So all that speed, I don't care. Can you play football?
Yeah. That's why I honestly believe
David Montgomery played football. Matt Forte played football.
God.
I honestly believe our team won't be as bad. Like offensively, with Nagy gone, with his dumbass play calling, I think our offense are actually going to average more than 16 points per game with this new regime than they did with Matt Nagy. And that's fucking sad because we don't even got the playmakers like we did with the Nagy, during the Nagy regime this year.
The killer is you don't got to average more. You don't necessarily have to average more than 16. I think they can, like, as long as you know who you are, you can win football games 17-13. You can win 13-10. Like, if you know who you are.
Now, wait a minute. You talk about some Baltimore Ravens, Trent Dilfer stuff, man. I don't know if we're doing that.
I'm saying there's more than one way to win a football game. I'm saying you don't have to win them 35, 42 points. You don't have to do that.
At least give me 20. At least give me 20.
I would like it, but I'm saying you can play ball control. You can play ball control, field position type football, and still be successful. Again, I don't think this offense is going to be sexy this year. I don't think they're going to like the scoreboard.
It's like an Eberflus system too. So
we don't rock that at all.
He's not gonna run and gun throwing things, left, right, backward like Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy's problem was he was scoring 16 because he was trying to score 40. Like if you understood what you were, then you could just play the game the right way. You trying to score 40 and end up with 12. Now you look stupid.
You never took what was given either. There's something to be said about taking what's given too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let's not forget Matt Nagy in the red zone too. Like, I mean, made no freaking sense.
How much longer do you think you would have played had injuries not hampered you?
Oh, shit. I assume I could have got 10 years, man. Because what's tricky, man, like running backs, you see it all the time, man. Like the guy is like on top of the world. But first of all, like our bodies are not built for that sport, man. It's just crazy, violent thing. But when there's something about running the ball, like the amount of abuse and hits that running backs take compared to other players, that's why you see dudes that they'll be like good 5 years and then like year 6, it's just over. You be like, damn, what happened to dude? He lost his step. And their hip is messed up, they messed up their knee. Someone like me, I tore the ligaments in my ankle, and I never really came back from that. So it's like I think if I wasn't like in a position where I was like where I had to be so physical, I had to break so many tackles and all this other shit in the backfield, like the way David Montgomery had to deal with. I mean, there's a chance that I could have played like a couple more years, but you know what, man, it's hard to look back. I wouldn't do it any other way, because that's just the way I was built. But yeah, it's really hard to say, man. But I like to believe I could have got a couple more, but yeah, man, you never really know though.
Especially playing in your guys' era when you could hit people, you could take their freaking heads off, you could take their freaking knees off. This era, in this era, if you touch a person the wrong way, especially the quarterback, you're gonna get flagged. Like,
if you tap his helmet, damn it, that's a flag.
I hate that. That's so.
Especially with those certain quarterbacks, in Green Bay right now, where if you touch him, you're getting flagged. Like, I mean, it's just how it is, and it's just.
So, I want to know this from you, Raymont, because, like I said, after that, like you had the 1997 season, that was yours. 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, like that was yours. We didn't do well. I think we were like 4-12, 3-13, something like that. We didn't do well, but you did well. So after that, like, were you still trending? I mean, were you still looking to stay with the Bears, or once you touched that free agent market? Because I know you did end up going to Green Bay, you did end up going to New England. Speak about that just a little bit.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely. I wanted to stay in Chicago. That's my team. Those are my teammates, and I wanted to be there. I got that thought. I missed 3 games, and I kind of here's the thing, man. I get it. I understand. So I played 13 games that year.
Did you have a shoulder?
That's a great question.
I thought you had a shoulder because
it was like 25 years ago. I don't even.
You went to the running back, and I think Tony Carter was your fullback, and he missed the block. Yeah. I remember that for some reason. Yeah,
I don't remember. I don't even remember what happened. That's bad. Goddamn concussions. But
oh no,
and that's real shit too. But
yeah, can't even imagine concussions.
After 13 games, I mean, I played 13 games, and I was like, I want to stay here. I want to be here. But like business wise, like you look at this running back who, like my second year in the league, I broke my collarbone on the first play of the game, and I missed the entire season. Then I maybe tweaked my knee like the next year, but I still led the team in rushing. I mean, so I was like, it was obvious that I was good, but I mean, yeah, I was like my man said earlier, maybe I was expendable. You know what I mean? So with that being the case, business wise, I get it, I understand it, but personally, I mean, it was one of those things that was tough for me because I wanted to play my whole career in Chicago. So then, like the next year to go to Green Bay, and I wasn't healthy, but it was cool to go to like a team that had been winning, had been to the Super Bowl twice, they had great players all over the roster, incredible line. I thought the shit was going to be amazing, but I mean, yeah, it just never really worked out after the first 4 years.
Yeah, it's because it's Green Bay. I mean,
that's one way to say it. Yeah, you say it like that.
The cheese state.
So, Raymont, as much time as you spent here, I know you got to eat some good food, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I was, but here's the thing. Yeah, when I was in with Chicago, I was in the league. I was serious about my shit. So I'm vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
I didn't eat. I don't eat. I try not to. Man, I didn't drink or smoke.
You still look in good shape right now, like you still have.
I was gonna say, yeah, damn.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what the ladies be saying and shit. I'm silly too, but yeah, man. It was amazing food and it was great. But yeah, I was all about that work, staying as healthy as possible, and not really indulging in any of that stuff until after I was done.
Oh,
if I'm being real.
So how was that with your team nutritionist being a vegetarian like in the 90s?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm a vegetarian now. I got that.
Now. Okay.
So like,
Okay.
while I was playing, I would eat chicken and fish, but we didn't. We didn't have any nutritionists back then. This is in the early 90s. We didn't have that. So like that started to become a phenomenon maybe like the late 90s, early 2000s. Okay. But yeah, we didn't have any team nutritionists. I mean, those people were like the big boys to kind of help them like lose weight and be more productive and be more active, carrying 330 pounds. Those people were getting that. Like
garbage bag time.
Yeah. You weren't messing with us. Yeah.
So you ain't never go to Harold's or Giordano's or nothing?
What? Yeah, I did Giordano. I've been to Giordano. Yeah, I ain't trying to make it. Yeah, I ain't fronting. I go to Giordano's. This shit was good. I never did Harold's. I think I did Harold's once. And I was like, yeah, I ain't feeling that shit.
I mean, what would you listen to?
I know. If somebody try to give me some pork or something, I don't mess with that.
Nothing wrong with the swine, my brother.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, that's everybody got their own style. You want to do that? That's cool. I wouldn't
swine, my brother.
That's why we ain't world class athletes and you are.
No,
right.
No, that's not it. Hey, fellas. Man, listen, unfortunately, I got to make this move, but I appreciate being on the call with y'all, man. I love talking about the Bears. It's my team still, man. And I appreciate spending this time. I appreciate the love tonight too.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Always, no doubt.
Hey, appreciate what you did for us, baby. We appreciate that.
I appreciate it, fellas. It's always love. You know that.
Always welcome back here, man.
Yes, sir, brother.
Take care.
Be good. All right, fellas.
Peace.
Yeah, man.
That's a good dude, man.
Yeah, good dude right there, man. Funny as hell, too.
It falls out completely, too. That dude was still jacked and looked like he could still put on the shoulder pads and be a running back, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, that was good.
Every time you come on, you get a treat, man.
I was getting ready to say that, man. Every time y'all gotta invite me on more often. Y'all, last time I was here, y'all Curtis Conway was here. Today, Raymont was here. Like, y'all bring
we gotta bring your ass back.
Right.
He the good luck charm, man. So I was gonna ask you, Herb. Like, I'm more curious about Kyler Gordon because there was some people that thought that he could have been a first-round pick, and they think that he slid out the first round was because of his 40 time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I have to tell people there's a difference between track speed and football speed because, it can go both ways. You can be fast as hell on a damn track, but when you on the football field, you ain't that damn fast. And you can be fast as hell, on the football field and don't be that fast on the track field. Right. So did he look like he was explosive faster than that 4.5 time that they said he ran in the 40?
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's kind of difficult.
No. We put a lot of stock into that 40-yard dash.
Mm-hmm.
In all seriousness, how often do you sprint 40 yards in a football game?
Never.
Very little.
It's not rare.
What's his name? DK Metcalf when he was chasing down an interception that one time, maybe. But
it's rare. It happens a few times a game, but
very rare.
But you know what I'm tired of? People thinking that 4.5 is slow. That's still
like it ain't slow.
I mean, listen,
that's still moving.
Kyler's faster than Peanut. You know what I mean? So it ain't that important. I think that he has that short area burst. He has that short area quickness. And again, when you talk about playing being a cover 2 corner, right? Where everything's in front of you. You really only dropping back 15, 20 yards. You know what I mean? Like everything's in front of you. It's about how quick you are, your instincts. Do you make plays on the ball? Are you a willing tackler to come up? He's shown all of those things. He has the hips to be able to turn and run. He can get his eyes from outside to inside and catch things that are, those outs coming his way, those types of things. I think that he's going to be fine. I think his speed will not be an issue for him at all. And again, 4.5 ain't a slow person. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be fine. But he also slipped. Just talking to him, he's like, man, I kind of slipped coming out my break. He's like, I expected to run faster than 4.5. I was hoping to be, 4.4 somewhere, but he's like slipped coming out or whatever. And like, it's fine. And the Bears was happy. It was like, man, when he ran that 4.5, we was like, yes,
we wouldn't have got you.
he might slip to us because he ran that 4.5. And so that time don't concern me at all, man. Watching him on tape and then watching him in the little bit that I got to see this weekend, I think that he has all of the speed and quickness that he needs to be successful in this game.
Yeah, I always said that 40-yard dash time, that frankly to a D-back, to a DB, like it's useless, because if you're going to be turning around and running 40 yards down the field, then you better check your defensive line, because that quarterback should have got his ass whooped by now.
Hey, and you getting your ass baked.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, for real. And what really impressed me about him was that the man didn't get no penalties in the 18 games that he played.
Yeah.
No penalties.
Yeah.
And that's key. That's key in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? For you not to get no penalty.
After 5 yards, you can't touch him. You can't hand him.
Man, you can't do this. You can't do that.
What impressed me about him is the fact that he was the number 2 corner, right? McDuffie went number 1.
Yep.
And so what happens when you're the number 2 corner, they going up, the offensive coordinator from the other team is going to like, hey, we can't throw at McDuffie. We got to throw at somebody. We throwing at Kyler. You know what I mean?
And so Jalen either. Now hold on, Jalen ain't no slouch.
No.
Jalen ain't trash.
No, not at all. I'm saying.
I think he's talking about college.
No, he's talking about college.
He's talking about college.
In college, they if McDuffie was the number 1 corner, we'd throw to the other side. And so he got a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of work and didn't get those penalties. Got a lot of work and didn't give up a lot of big plays. So I think that, just being a number 2 corner and still being a guy that had first-round talent is impressive, because a lot of times when you're not the number 1 guy, they pick on you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go at the All-American, so let's go at the other dude. And he showed himself to be more than up to the challenge. And so I think that'll be the same for him. He's going to come in and they're going to be like, okay, Jalen, up-and-coming corner. He's proven himself for a couple years. Let's go with the rookie. And I think that he'll have an opportunity to prove himself again. And I like his chances.
Yeah, and 0 touchdowns given up. 0.
Yeah.
And everybody was worried about his interceptions, but I don't care, because he had
I was, because I want to see him pick the ball off. I was.
But he had a lot of deflected passes. He batted a lot of balls down too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's why I'm I was kind of skeptical, because when the Bears picked, I thought they should at least went defensive back 1 and then went a receiver, either way. But when they went both defense, I was like, damn, that shit kind of hurt a little bit. And then when they went and got, I think what really set it up was when they went and got Jones Jr. And I don't think nobody had him going that high. So that's what really upset me about the draft. It wasn't that I didn't think that they do a bad job. I think the 2 players that they did get in the second round were both good players. Yeah. I just wanted to see that extra receiver. But if it wasn't high on that board, those players that were at receiving, I heard there was a whole bunch of behind the scenes things with Pickens.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard he was like
last week. The pick was Christian Watson if the Packers hadn't moved up.
Watson was their number 1 receiver that they wanted with that first pick in the second round, and Green Bay moved up to get him.
Yeah.
And after that, I agree, like with that 3rd round pick, getting that wide receiver, there were a lot of big, speedy type wide receivers that were still available.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, going into the 4th round too, was David Bell still there in the 4th round?
David Bell was available. I still, my dark horse, like I told you guys last week, Herb, you weren't here. I was high on Tyquan Thornton from Baylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
2-8 or something like that. Woo.
Yeah.
I like David Bell because, again, he dropped so far because he didn't have that 40-yard dash time. He was like a 4.6, I think, in the 40-yard dash.
Well, that was David Bell, but like we had said before, David Bell kind of puts you in the mind of like an Eric Moulds. He's a football player, so you can't go wrong with getting the David Bell.
Yeah.
But they wanted a home run hitter, and I still think
David Bell
that's why they got Velas, because they said if they didn't get one of them big guys, they wanted a home run hitter. Yeah. Because Justin still had one of the top deep ball accuracies in the league as a rookie.
Because David Bell's report was he was a phenomenal route runner. And I think that would help Justin Fields with those perfect route runners. Like, yeah, you can go out and speed this, speed that. It doesn't matter if you're a freaking shitty route runner. Like, because then Justin Fields is going to throw it to you and it's going to be at your ankles or it's going to be over your head because he's expecting you to run it in a different spot. Like,
unfortunately, we've seen that a lot
in
the Bears, house. Herb, I wanted to ask you because I'm still not totally sold, but what are you getting this vibe about Eberflus right now, currently? Like, what are you getting besides the rah? Like, are you getting the knowledge guy or are you getting the bullhorn guy?
I'm in full wait and see mode on him. But I will say that he seems to be, quote unquote, a football guy, just in that he just understands, the nuances of the game. He understands how important defense is. He understands, protecting the ball, taking it away, running game, special team. Like, he just understands the total package of winning a football game. Whereas Matt Nagy was like, I'm going to win this game on offense and whatever else is going to happen. Like, and what you do when you do that, unless you actually have a high-powered, prolific offense, then not only are you not getting that done, but now you fucking up the defense and the special teams too. You know what I mean?
3 and outs.
They were out there so many times.
And so
no flipping of the field. None of that.
Yeah, none of that. And so I think Matt Eberflus seems to understand the totality of the game better, right? And he doesn't seem to be caught up on, we got to win it this way. We just got to win. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? We just got to win. Play defense, run the ball, don't turn it over, take it away. I know everybody, the hits principle, that'll probably get on people's nerve after a while, but
that's cute.
Yeah, it's cute, it's cool, whatever. You know what I mean? But I think that, just understanding what it takes to win a football game. He seems to have that. Now we got to see. He ain't never been a head coach before. So when those bullets are live, how good is he at managing the game, right? How does he use his timeouts? How does he use his challenges? How does he, dictate, whether or not to go for it on 4th down? What is his end of half strategy? If he got the ball and say it's $1:10 left and they on their own 20, like what is he gonna do? You know what I mean? That type of stuff, you still kind of gotta wait and see how he kind of manages the game when it's real. But in terms of philosophically, I think that he has his mind on straight. That's gonna give the Bears an opportunity to be competitive, even though their roster isn't top notch just yet.
Yeah, from what I always heard about, like, him and the defensive coordinating with the Colts, like, and this is something that I'm sure everyone will agree with me on, that Matt Nagy probably was the worst thing at, was making adjustments during a game. When somebody is going to adjust their game plan to attack one of your weaknesses, Eberflus knew how to adjust to savior that weakness. Like, and hopefully he can do that throughout an entire, like, offense and defense when it comes down to that as well. But he has made it well known that he can do that defensively, and that was something Nagy was absolutely clueless on.
Yeah, you got to be able to do that. I think that, I think it was the first Green Bay game. The Bears came in with a really good game plan for how they wanted to attack and defend Devontae Adams, right? And then, they held him in check until he got the one touchdown late in the first half, and then he just, took off. And I think that, that was Green Bay's offense making adjustments and the Bears defense not being able to do that. And I think you got to be able to make those adjustments in game. You come in with a game plan, cool. But, Mike Tyson says everybody got a game plan until you punch him in the mouth. You know what I mean?
In the mouth, yes.
And then, okay, cool. Now you got to take that punch, eat it, like, oh, damn, hit me in my shit. But don't, you got to come back. You know what I mean? Like, you got to bounce back.
And I was always
that's the only thing I worry about him, about being a rookie head coach, Getsy being a rookie coordinator, everybody being a rookie QB coach.
Yeah.
Coach Williams, the last time he did coach, his team was ranked dead last defensively. That's the only thing I was worried about. As far as, I'm not a rah-rah guy, Herb, so all that rhetoric, it sounds cute for the media.
Yeah.
Can you script the game? Can you adjust on the fly?
Well,
sports here. We just saw a Hall of Fame basketball player jag off a series in Steve Nash because he can't coach. You can't adjust. I don't care how good you are if you can't adjust.
Yeah.
So I don't want Eberflus to fall into that mind frame. Like, look at the success we had. But again, this is a different team, different division.
Yeah.
First time, like you said, you putting your foot in the fire now. So it's go time.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Williams a chance though, because actually we had a defensive coordinator that was here before. JB, you should know him, and he sucked ass, and now he's Michigan State's head coach.
That's what you were talking about. Mel Tucker.
95 mil.
He was mediocre coming from Jacksonville. It was just
he was ass. I was like, what the hell?
They were like,
what are we doing?
Like 16th or something, but you know,
yeah.
A shot. But us as Bears fans, Herb, I like to stay what's called cautiously optimistic. I don't want to get too high. I don't want to get too low, but I don't want to have the wool pull over my eyes either because still they got to play football.
And I also want to see if they're going to be willing. Like I know he said in his press conference that he's going to let his coordinators do their job. Because I think that's key. Because I think that's one thing that Nagy didn't do specifically on offense.
He was forced.
Until he was forced to let his coordinators sit up there and do their job. Then I want to see when things get tight, where he still sit up there and have that trust and that belief in his coordinators to allow them to do the job that they were hired for.
Yeah.
We gotta stop talking about Matt Nagy.
Hey, Herb, before we let you go, man. Did you see the tight end number 47 out there on Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
He was getting a lot of work. Do you think there's something behind that?
No.
Thank you.
Hey,
no. Let me piggyback on that question.
Like I was saying. What's up? Go ahead. My bad, Frank.
I was gonna say, let me piggyback on that question too, though. How is Cole Kmet gonna do this year in your mind?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, like I was saying earlier, every year we find these guys and they undrafted free agents or they practice squad guys and we get excited about them because they look good in shorts and t-shirts or they do whatever they're gonna do in the preseason. But no, I'm not expecting nothing from him. If the Bears are gonna be successful at tight end, it's gonna be because Cole Kmet develops into the player that they hoped he was. Or they continue to give Jesper Horsted opportunities because every time he's got opportunities,
I want Horsted to get more opportunities too.
Yeah, listen, I
tight ends. I'm cool.
I don't care where you came from. Just play ball. And so when he gets opportunities, he plays ball. Now I know Cole Kmet was a second-round pick, and Jesper wasn't. I think he was undrafted, but like
he was undrafted.
Whatever. You know what I mean? When he gets opportunities, the man make plays. And so give him his opportunities. I think the Bears are going to be successful at tight end this year. It's going to be mostly about what those two guys do. Not some undrafted rookie free agent coming through to save the
fucking
day.
Politics, man. Politics is always about where you were drafted. I don't give a shit if your ass came off the fucking street. If you balling, then goddamn it, put his ass in there.
Hey, one last thing, Herb. Are you gonna be at the scheduling reveal on Thursday?
No, probably not.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I might, but I'm very excited about the schedule because I want to know. I want to start planning out my trips and stuff to go out there and whatever. They got a cool road schedule this year. You get to go to New York twice, go down to Atlanta, go to Jerry's World, go to New England. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. It's definitely some trips I'm looking forward to, and I want to find out how soon it's gonna be. I'm really hoping they play the Jets and Giants back to back. I might just stay in New York.
That'd be
for a
awesome.
Week.
Yeah.
I might just post up in New York for the week, whatever. But I have to get back in for press conference. But
I wish I could.
But I don't think I'm going up to Hallis for it. I don't need to interview them about that. What the hell they gonna say? You know what I mean? Like, tell us what you're gonna do when y'all gotta play the Cowboys in week 8.
Actually, it's gonna be a party at somewhere in Fulton Market.
Hey man, listen. Maybe I might do something like that. I just know that, man. When the Bears are good or they playing well, Bears fans travel, man, and they can take over any road stadium. Absolutely. Man. The way that the way that Bears fans took over the Raider Stadium in Vegas.
Oh, I saw that, man.
That thing.
I was there.
I was there. Crazy. right? It was so loud, and you let's go Bears. Like, damn, this shit sound like Soldier Field West or something like.
Dude, we took over Vegas.
It was orange all through that thing. It was Bears parties all weekend. The fight was that weekend too, so it was just, everything was going. It was busting the whole weekend. But when the Bears got out there and started playing well, man, the Bears fans took that stadium over. Like Raiders fans was damn near not there. It was wild.
The craziest thing too is that is all sports for Chicago. Like when they're winning, they travel. Right. Every single sport, whether it's baseball, hockey, basketball, it doesn't matter. Like they will sell out a stadium just because they're playing a Chicago team.
Yeah, because we're a lot better than them damn Detroit fans. Hello, Don Burr.
Oh, Lord. Winner did it.
Sherry Bueller.
Sherry gonna get you, Chris.
So, Herb, where can we find you at, man? Where can we find you at?
Man, you can follow my Twitter. It's at Herb Howard 411. You can also follow the Bigs. I cover the Bears for the Bigs. You can follow us at It's the Bigs on Twitter. Keep you updated on all the latest things. I cover the Bears for us, obviously, but we cover the Cubs, the Sox, the Bulls, everything. So the Sky, like, you know what I mean? So you can stay in tune with everything the Bigs got going on at It's the Bigs. You can follow me at Herb Howard 411. And that's it's funny because it's kind of like a double entendre on the information piece, but that's honestly not why I put 411. It's my birthday. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Shout out to Eugene McIntosh, by the way, Herb. That's my boy.
Yeah, shout out to Gino, man. Shout out to Eugene McIntosh, definitely, man. He is super, super dope on the Cubs beat every single day. One of the co-founders of the Bigs. Came up with the nickname El Mago for Javi. Super, super dope, man. So yeah, definitely major shout out to Gene. What you say, Frank?
No one covers my Blackhawks, man. Like, I mean,
you cover the Blackhawks.
I'm gonna be covering the Blackhawks.
We need somebody on that.
you give me a call, Herb, dude. I will cover the Blackhawks with everything, man. I love that.
Most definitely. I've never been to a hockey game, and I want to go. I got to make sure I go to a hockey game.
Well, they suck right now, so
yeah, I know.
They're rebuilding. They're rebuilding.
Check it out.
Yeah, they're rebuilding, so hopefully they'll be back up on.
It's always good to have you on here, bro.
Man, it's my pleasure. Y'all so dope, bro. Like,
yes, sir.
Y'all got so much info about the team, and y'all knowledgeable and stats that be pulled. Like JB be pulling stats from like the 70s. Like, bro,
I don't know how he does that.
Know that, bro.
I don't know how the hell he does it.
Cards. I used to study my cards, my football cards. My mom was on
tradable cards, man.
We had the cards. Like it was like Pokemon, but back then. Like,
most deaf, man. So it's always fun hanging out with y'all, man. It's always dope conversation talking football with real football dudes. It's not, just like super like meathead, just saying like wild stuff. Like y'all know exactly what the game is. It's always fun hanging out with y'all. So absolute honor and a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me, truly.
Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Herb.
Take care.
Love.
All right.
Now, I swear to God, these Sox better not blow this goddamn game.
What is the score?
My God, man.
4-1. I ain't about to go through this shit again.
Last night, when they were up 8-2, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, they got this bag. It's over with, man."
And then
I spoke too damn soon.
And then JB, before you came on, like we were talking about this too, is you guys don't. It's still 4-1. I'm looking at it. JB, before you got on, remember when you guys praised how the White Sox started off so great? They looked so good, and then they go on and lose 8 in a row.
And then wait, aren't they like winners of 5 in a row now? 5 or 6?
7 in a row, but they lost yesterday. They lost yesterday. And there's the thing. They were up 8-2 in the 9th inning yesterday.
Right. I saw
and then T praises them on here. And then all of a sudden, it's 8-8. Just like with the
his ass is out. They gotta review that shit.
Yeah. But hey, it's baseball. You can't win every single game.
So getting back to this mini camp. Man, Kyler looked really good. Jaquan looked good. I'm excited to see them develop.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not gonna be like a 500 plus year, but I'm excited to see these guys develop and mesh into a team that we can see go over 500.
Yeah, and I agree with you with the way you just said that right there. Like, nobody's expecting them to be 500, but at the same time, they don't have a strong schedule.
Right.
Like, they can pull a rabbit out of their ass and all of a sudden be above 500.
But see, I'm torn. I'm torn, fellas, because do we want the Bears to win? Absolutely.
You want a good pick? Absolutely.
But do we want them backing into the playoffs at 8-9, 9-8? We really don't.
Like, would I rather them be, like what they have the extra game, so it'd be 10-7 with no development on the offensive end, just playing really good defense, or getting 3 total wins and our offense looked positive every single game. I'd rather that, get a better draft pick and seeing them develop and looking that much better. I probably would rather have that, because guess what? They're not winning a Super Bowl with this team.
All right, no, and that's my point. See, Frank, you kind of echoing it from the other side. If you figure right now, let's just say because the schedule is quote unquote soft, right? Let's say we do, because we don't know what Green Bay's got going on. They kind of whatever. Detroit, whatever. Vikings, whatever. Let's say we do, and I like I said, 10-7, 9-8. That's normally playoff math, right? We get in, we draw Tampa. So we want it, or LA. So let's say we wanted them. Now we got like the 23rd pick, 22nd pick, whatever.
Yeah, and you're getting knocked out in the first round.
Are we really gonna get that improvement that we're looking for from like that impact guy in the draft for Justin? Are we still kicking the tires on DK? Because as certain teams get closer to their playoff push, they might want to give up a first round draft pick to get DK.
Yeah,
and we want him here, but Seattle want a little compensation too. And somebody giving a 4th or 5th pick, as opposed to us giving the 22nd, 21st pick, they're gonna give me that 4th. Give me that first round pick, number 4. And we lose out again. That's the only thing that scares me.
You know what I want to do? I want to go into this Post-it note real quick.
Oh, you got one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had one in a while.
We got a Post-it note. We're going to give a few minutes to this.
Good.
Let me go ahead and get it started.
What are your expectations for Justin Fields this season?
Yeah, they're low. For us to expect for this young quarterback to come in and play really well this year, you're kidding yourselves.
So that is going to be our Post-it note.
Does anyone else want to go old school bullying and just yank that SOB by the ears and twist them?
I do.
Big ass ears.
I do.
Hey, Frank, are you toasting with a little basil? What you toasting with?
I finished it, actually.
Okay, well, I'm a toast because I have to sip on this one.
Well, let me go ahead and kick this off. Dan Orlovsky, first of all, he wasn't even a good quarterback. So
isn't he known for running out of bounds?
Listening to him is like listening to a wall. Secondly, he doesn't even know what this scheme is going to be. He doesn't know.
Nobody does.
What exactly. It's a big question mark. So for him to say that the Bears offense could be like the worst, one of the worst in the league, he doesn't know. We only know what the offense was the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
But as Frank said so many times today, the previous season was Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. So now it's Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles. So it's a totally different scheme.
I really wish that Post-it note would have had Keyshawn Johnson's one first before Dan Orlovsky spoke.
What did he say?
Keyshawn picked him second amongst all second quarterbacks.
Okay, sophomore year quarterback. So we're talking about Zach Wilson.
And he said he understands Dan Orlovsky's point in him not having weapons, but Justin Fields, the way he can change a game with his legs too, would put him as the second best quarterback on a sophomore season. And then Dan Orlovsky just dropped the gun and picked him dead last. Like, and it's just like there's no way. I mean, nobody's expecting Justin Fields to go put up 4,000 yards this year. I mean, it's not going to happen with the weapons that he has. But the way that he can change the game on running the ball, keeping his legs to keep actual plays alive, and actually have an offense built around him instead of him trying to. And I mean, everyone could complain about this because this is exactly what they did to Mitchell Trubisky too, is they just threw him into a system and said, you change, you adapt, you do how my system says.
Right.
This is not how this coach does things. This is not how our offensive coordinator does things.
Right.
He's going to build it around his strengths. And I could see him at least amongst all sophomore seasons being at least second or third. Easily. But I mean, like passing yards or even wins in that matter, it's just development.
So let me say this. I feel Justin has no choice but to get better, only off the strength that this particular regime has a plan for him.
That's Hall of Shame, not Hall of Fame on that comment.
Last year, Matt Nagy had no plan for him. All his plans were for Andy Dalton. All of them. And we found out, think about how you guys felt. When we found out
with that Cleveland game,
he never, ever had any reps with the first team coming out of training camp. Think about how that made y'all feel. I was just like, so why is this kid here?
Yeah. He shouldn't even have been dressing then.
No, right. He should have been holding the clipboard.
Should have been Andy Dalton's backup if you never had it.
He should have been Nick Foles' backup if you just was going to have nothing scripted for him. That's why I say when you go into a new, this is Justin's rookie year all over again. And it's fine. It's fine. I don't have any problem with that. But what I do say is this. I saw what Trevor Lawrence did last year, and I'm not too impressed either.
Yeah,
I saw what Zach Wilson did last year, and I'm not too impressed.
Nobody
did what
anything.
Trey Lance is.
Mac Jones had the wins, but he didn't do anything.
That was more Belichick
than
anything.
Well, I think all sheep need a shepherd. The pressure is really going to be on the first two quarterbacks taken, Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. They went up and they got Zach Wilson a bunch of help this year.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to be honest. I told people when that draft came out last year, Trevor Lawrence was not the number one quarterback to me. It was Justin Fields.
Chris, you and I talked about that. We was on the phone. We talked about that.
I would have picked Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him now because you've been touted since you were like damn near a freshman in high school to be this great hope, this great quarterback. And what's so crazy is that it just shows you how media, if you ask a lot of superstars in the league or a lot of people in the league, period, around sports, the media hype up who they want to hype up and they try to take down who they want to take down. And they've hyped up Trevor Lawrence so much that now you got no choice but to sit up there and hopefully succeed. Because when you was in high school, they had you as the number one quarterback, even over Justin Fields, even though he did outplay you. His stats was just as good, if not better.
Well, remember coming out of Georgia, there was what when they were both in high school. Coming out of Georgia, there was what?
They were like 1 and 2. Yeah.
1A and 1B. Really.
Yeah. And then Justin, they were both in some type of one of those camps, and Justin beat them in the camp. Go figure. Then they went to college. Trevor Lawrence, he did his thing his freshman year. Set up there, won a national championship. Hats off to him. Not easy to do. Not at all. Then the second season he came back and he didn't look good his second season. Actually, he had a stretch where he looked damn bad.
A 3-game
real
stretch.
Bad.
Yes.
And, they set up there and they sort of threw that shit to the side. Justin had a good season. Then their junior years, Justin now played his ass, beat his ass in that game.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, all you hear about all these negative things about Justin Fields. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, he got that. Oh, he got that long winding throw. But you can't question that kid's heart. He went out there with fucking broken ribs and put up 6 fucking TDs Trevor Lawrence and them.
You look at Justin Fields, just his rookie season with Chicago and the freaking ass beating he took.
Yeah.
Dude never sat down, man. If there was one thing that he clearly 100% proved to Chicago is he is tough as hell. And, one thing I will say, because I did look at a lot of highlights of Trevor Lawrence and everything like that, I saw more highlights, highlighted type plays from Justin Fields with this shitty Matt Nagy offense than I did with Trevor Lawrence last year. Trevor Lawrence didn't do shit last year. He did nothing. And don't get me wrong, everyone's just like, he didn't have any weapons. You think freaking Fields did.
Hey, put up Bullet's comment, man. That shit funny.
What Bullet say? That's my man, Bullets. What'd he say?
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Oh, he called him Sunshine.
Oh.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. In concluding the
can't make that pitch, coach.
I just want to say this for Dan Orlovsky and anybody else who wants to be included in that.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Enough said.
Right, exactly.
So I think we should go to some kind of commercial so I can go to the bathroom.
Oh, Lord.
Wash your hands.
I'll wash my hands.
Pissy T.
Listen, shout out to my man Terrence from Chicago's Clubhouse Podcast, from the Morris Brewing Company here in Chicago, Illinois. All right, we got bros out here putting out this for the Moors. It's tasty. I didn't even have to come on here lying about this. All right, this tastes like what I like when I drink a beer. I don't drink a beer often because I'm too big and I need to stay off of carbonated drinks. But this is the carbonated drink you need to open up and crack and take a sip. All right, if you want to come out of the dark ages, be educated. All right, get you some of this Moors brew right here. It's definitely tasty. You can get it in Kimbark and High Park.
Whoa. I thought we were a team. Where's Mines? And when are we getting in Tempe, Arizona?
I guess we're going to have to find out, man. But everybody out there, for here from Chicago, go to Kimbark and pick you up some Moors.
We got to get Kenneth
back that quick.
We got to get Kenneth on here. I always listen to his show on YouTube, but
we've had Kenneth on before, right?
I've never. I don't think I was ever involved here with Kenneth yet.
Yeah, we're getting back to holler at him.
Yeah, we'll definitely get him
I
back.
always listen to his show on YouTube. For some odd reason, I can't get this show on YouTube. I don't know if it's because all the profanity that Foulmouth uses, my work doesn't allow it. My work does not allow the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. It makes no sense.
That might be my mouth, yeah.
It could be. I mean,
Chris, you crossing this view. No.
Oh, fuck shit. There go a few more.
Well, I think we've been on here long enough. We might as well just go ahead and get to some shout outs and get the hell out of here.
All right, we're kicking it off.
Who wants to kick it off?
Don't
everybody speak at once.
I'll take it. I'll give a shout out to everybody on the chat. That chat was booming today, man. A lot of people chatting up on there, which was really nice to see. Both of our guests, phenomenal guests. And hopefully we can get him on more often. That jacked running back from Married with Children, that type stuff. And that made my days knowing that he was in Married with Children. But then all you guys, I'm going to say this publicly right now, to actually be on here permanently now with you guys makes me feel so damn good. And I thank you guys for that.
All right now, Frank, come on with it.
Glad to be on here permanently. That's all I got. Thank you. You keep eating that foul, man.
Oh, shit.
Chopping away.
Baby, you want to go?
Go ahead, Chris. You on?
Oh, fuck. All right.
That's why I can't watch it on YouTube, man.
I want to give a shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Thank you for showing up tonight. Also, remember to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. And I ain't fucking playing either. Like and subscribe this shit. We got good content, good guests. The whole works. Foul mouths. We got Terrence that like to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. We got JB. Just keeps going. We got the hockey guy, Frank the Tank. Chat was loud tonight. Thank you, Diop. We had a lurker in here that was actually commenting, Don Burr, who sounds like he's a fucking Detroit Lions fan. So
Hutchinson could kiss my ass.
I love Hutchinson.
Yeah,
But when he comes playing together, I don't give a shit about him.
Get mauled
Bullets,
by
of course, Jesse. JB's mom. Hi.
My mom.
I also want to give a shout out to my family. My cousin Nari, he did his rap thing this weekend. I told him I'd give him a shout out. Shout out to you.
Okay.
We're going to be doing our introduction or whatnot. Also, I want to shout out to my coworker, Vanessa. Makes these bomb-ass cakes. This shit good as hell.
That's what you're chowing down on.
Send you guys a couple slices. This shit good.
I need one of those.
This shit. Also, I want to give a shout out to the fucking kiddies who should have their ass in bed because it's a school night, goddamn it. And if they ain't in there, but shit, I can't take their phones. They ass on punishment anyway, so I already got them. So. Your TV privileges are revoked. Shout out to my mom. I don't know if she was watching or not. No, she might have been asleep. Shit. Had a long Mother's Day. Oh, happy belated Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody, for sure.
Mothers out there. Mwah. Thank y'all. Y'all do an unbelievable job. Unbelievable. There's no one like y'all. Shout out to my girl who's going to probably kick my ass because she's telling me I need to hurry up and get off because she waiting on me to go to sleep.
Minus
shout out to you fellas. Frank the Tank. JB. T-Nick. And damn, do I got anybody else? No, that's it. Thank you all. Coming out. JB.
So it's on me. Y'all done already touched on everybody. I'm just going to give a couple of individuals. Jesse Cortrell, off the chain. My man Bullets, my brother from another, always checking in. West Coast Cali love, you know what I'm saying? Can't wait to get out there. West Side. Shout out to my moms. Always on, always representing. She loves every last one of us. Pinnacle of our week is the Tuesday show. She loves us. So, moms, thank you. Thanks for all the viewers that you bring. Shout out to Herb. Shout out to Raymont. Like, hey, I've been waiting to talk to Raymont for a long time, man. I felt he was like a real dude, and he did not disappoint, right? He did not disappoint. So, love the fact that he was not dodging. Like, he was like, this is who I am. I'm a real dude, X, Y, Z, and that's what it went. That's what this show is about. Hey, we all talk a certain way in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Always. And this is what this is. So shout out to those guys. Herb Howard on fire as always. Got to support this guy. Hey, he asks the real questions. I don't want no more of that cookie cutter stuff on this show. We ain't going to have it. We ain't going to have it.
All right, none of that fortune cookie shit.
None of it. You want to see the master? None of that. None of that. None of it. So shout out to our guests. Shout out to our viewers. Shout out to my team. That's it. Drop the mic. Let's get it, T.
Okay, well, it's on me. Shout out to everybody in the chat who was watching. Jesse, Bullets, Mom, Diop, my man Diop. You're going to see big things coming up from him soon. Who else was in the chat? The Detroit fan.
Don Burr.
He is a hater, but we appreciate him anyway. Hater in the house. We appreciate him anyway. That was the Stuart Scott reference for y'all youngins who didn't recognize that. Who else was in here that I want to acknowledge? My man Bullets. Day one. That's our day one.
We coming back to Cali, baby.
I think, and anybody else who I forgot.
Damn, T.
Yeah, right. You just cut it off.
Anybody else who I forgot, we appreciate y'all. Huh?
I mean, you could always give a shout out to Dan Orlovsky for being a dumbass with that freaking
shout out to Orlovsky
right there, man.
That's a hot take, Frank. That's a hot take.
Yeah, put it there.
And this. He gets all of that. So yeah, fuck you, Dan Orlovsky. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all, but the ones who did not contribute to the chat, you are officially lurkers, but we appreciate y'all as well, because if we didn't have y'all, we wouldn't have as many people watching our foolishness. So we appreciate it. My guys, got to shout y'all out. Foulmouth, JB, and my man Frank the Tank. We're going to see a lot more of you and less of me. So, congrats, my man.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. Did you just quote a Grease song, dude?
We'll get
Tell me more.
We'll get into that a little later.
Frank, no.
I want to shout out
classic, man.
Moore's Beer. Shout out to Moore's Beer. Even though I'm not drinking anything.
Here you go again.
Until the weekend.
Until the weekend.
Then
what about Thursday? What about Thursday?
Tomorrow? Oh, yeah, Thursday. I might.
Yeah.
You know damn well it's gonna be drinking Thursday.
So speaking of Thursday is the schedule reveal. And it's gonna be at I think it's called Punch Bowl Social, and it's on Fulton in Fulton Market.
That's what you said.
On the street, Fulton. So that'll be a good time. Cairo Santos will be there. So
nice.
Chris, JB, Frank, if you all can go with me, you all will get to meet Cairo. I did get the experience to go to the rookie mini camp on Saturday, and I did meet Braxton. I talked to Braxton Jones. He's a big, intimidating dude.
Hey,
that's exactly what I told him. But when you listen to him talk, he don't sound like he look.
He's like a gentle giant.
Yes.
As long as he doesn't play like no gentle giant, then I don't care. He must play like them.
Yeah, I just want to play like a beast, like an ogre. And I got a chance to talk with Carla Gordon as well.
You get him on the show?
Yeah, we just talked for a second, and shook hands, whatever, and then I left. But yeah, so that was a cool experience. But like I was saying to Herb, there were a few guys who actually looked good, and they were getting work. But then you turn around like the next day, they got cut.
They were
Master T.
They were cut before
Master T.
I thought Master T was gonna make it. I really did.
He was getting a lot of work, man. He was
Where's
getting
he
a lot
from?
of work. He
Ohio State.
Oh, that's why his ass got cut. Okay.
That's why he got brought in.
That's why he got his ass cut too.
He was getting a lot of work. He was getting a lot of work, man. He was real impressive, but
yeah.
Next day he was cut.
Damn.
They also had a tight end that I was saying to her, number 47. He was a big, tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Chase. Slips my mind.
Chase slipped my mind.
Chase slipped my mind. Yeah, that's it. But he looked decent too. Cut. So I'm wondering if we'll see some of these guys resurface later. Ladarius Mack was cut today too.
It doesn't really.
He was on there because of Khalil. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's not act like nepotism doesn't happen in sports.
He's been given so many chances.
What I'm saying is he was on the team. He came to the team last season, and he resurfaced. So we might see some of these other guys resurface. I'm not saying that they'll stick, but they might resurface.
Yeah,
possible.
The squad
Never
type.
know. Anyway,
Practice squad signings. Never could hurt with those.
Maybe, perhaps. But I do believe that if they put if they put this dude, what's with Dominique, what's his name? Robinson. If they put him on the practice squad,
he'll get picked up.
Someone's gonna pick him. Just because he's an athlete.
That's Thursday.
He's not intimidating, but you can tell he's an athlete.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They'll pick him off. Now I did get a chance to see Velus or Velvet, whichever one you prefer. Velvet. I did get a chance to see him. That dude is fast. He's blazing fast. And like Herb said, he ain't no skinny, frail dude.
Yeah, he's
not tall by any stretch of the imagination. He's not tall, but he's fast. So he just made, he makes stick. He makes stick.
If you could turn that speed into some route running, man, he could turn into some special kid. Well, he's not really a kid anymore. He's already 25 years old. But
I've seen speed before.
He a grown ass man.
Yeah, because it's all about route running in this. I know it's not too much about, unless you're on the Kansas City Chiefs, man. It's not.
Think about that. We had all that speed last year, and nobody could get open. I'm not impressed.
It's because Field was sacked within 1.7 seconds.
Shout out to Tilly's. Taco Tuesday. I ain't gonna make it, but we got a new guy that I didn't acknowledge. David G.
David,
back up watching.
David G, what's going on?
Okay, all right, David G.
Welcome, David. Welcome.
Shout out to the White Sox for not blowing that shit tonight.
Yeah, 4-1. I'll still take 8 out of their last 9 wins. It
is going to be Thursday night. The schedule reveal is Thursday night. Who else do I need to shout? It's Time Barbershop. So that's on 95th, right off of Ashland. He gave me a commercial, but I didn't cut it up yet. But he wanted me to make sure I shouted him out. And man, if you need to get a fade, run out to 95th for Ashland. Yeah, he cut white people hair too. If that's what some of y'all were thinking.
That gray hair.
And lastly, I want to shout out any blood family that I might have, because we all family in here. But any blood family I might have in here, I appreciate y'all for watching. But I usually don't have any blood family in here because they don't really fuck with this podcast like that.
Damn.
And I think aside from that, I'm not sure what else to say. We might not have anything left to say.
But we are.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
Okay. All right. So,
I see that scene. I want to get a big Kuhana burger.
Look, I can't wait for Sandy Lil to come on the show. Like, come on,
man,
Sandy.
I can't wait either.
I'm
not gonna hold my breath.
That we got to get foul mouth on with him. We got to get freaking all our swearing type people on with Samuel.
That Mike.
And you're gonna see one of us motherfuckers gonna be saying motherfucker more.
Now that'll be a show that won't be clipping on YouTube. That's for sure.
Yeah. Put the kiddies to bed on that one.
And I have one question for you all.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
Oh.
And on that note, I am T. Nick, the point guard quarterback, for my man JB, the stat man who knows
Got that
every
little
single
stutter
stat
going right there.
since the 80s and 90s, basketball and football. My man, Foul Mouth C, who has the foulest fucking mouth in the city. And for my man, Frank, the Tank.
Oh, no.
This has been. I did that all wrong.
You fucked that up.
My man, Frank, the Tank.
Yeah, it was just like cut me off on that one, man. Damn.
We
Fucked
out.
that all up.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
And we still ain't out this motherfucker.
No, it still says live.
Bye. Yeah,
It's weak. It's weak.